that I think you got me by about 10 years or so. And, we grew up as I was a big newspaper guy growing up. I couldn't get enough of the sports section, and to the point where teachers would say, like, you got to stay out of the, when are you going to do anything with the sports section to make a living? And then, turns out lucky enough I was able to do it. But it's just kind of sad, although we've also been around long enough to see, where media is going, what direction it's going. And but it's still sad to me because, I've just been a newspaper guy forever.
Well, it's very, very sad for me too. Of course, Jim, I was a paper boy carrying the Sun Telegraph when it went out of business in the early '60s. I was an employee at the Pittsburgh Press when it went out of business in 1992, I guess it was. And now I'm an ex-employee of the Post-Gazette, and it's going out of business. Time goes by. People want the news immediately. And although the newspapers have done that with their online services, you just can't beat all the other avenues where people get your information for nowadays. I still think, and I still look forward to reading the Post-Gazette online every Monday, get all the Steeler information, things like that. I still read out-of-town newspapers. They're great for me, but, I knew this was coming for the Post-Gazette. I didn't think it would be coming May 3rd, 2026, but very sad time. But newspapers all across the country are in trouble. Even of course, the New York Times is doing well, but even the Washington Post is having financial problems. So it's coming. It's coming. I don't know if it'd be in our lifetime, but someday there will be no newspapers.
Well, what do you make of, though? Okay, so I can understand they're losing whatever and so forth and so on. They're losing money. They're not making any money. But what do you make of the Post-Gazette announcing that, okay, we're going out of business here, but not for 4 months? It seems to me like if there's a business that's losing money hand over fist, which they say they are, and I'm not going to dispute that, but what do you make of that there's like a 4-month, we're going to hang around for 4 months, through the NFL draft, whatever. But they're why not just, if you're going out of business, you may as well go out of business right away. What do you make of that?
Well, that's a very good point, Jim. I don't know. It's entirely possible that something in their business practice is dictating that, or it's entirely possible they're hoping that someone will come along. Now that they have announced they're getting out of the business, someone will come along. One of these companies that buys newspapers really scales down the expenditures, uses it as a way to make money, cut the staff, cut the resources. Maybe they're hoping that will happen, and they'll get some money out of the deal. And that's, to me, that is still a possibility. I know people who are working at the Post-Gazette are still hoping that's a possibility. So I grant you on the surface, why extend it another almost 4 months? Why not do it today? But I think there could be good reasons for that.
Geez, it's too bad we didn't know anybody in the newspaper business locally that knows how to cut costs. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No, I'm just kidding about that, of course.
Now, I forgot. Yes, maybe the Nottingham Power will take it over.
Yeah, and that was one of the first. That was one of the first inklings that some people had. Okay, now so we're retired here. Are you going to miss being part of another? Because even when you were working, okay, now early on in your journalistic career, there were Steelers coaching searches nearly every year. So that was almost a yearly occurrence. And yet, since 1991 or 1992, I should, so, I guess it would have been 91, 92, whatever. It was like 34 years ago that Chuck Noll retired and Bill Cowher was hired. But we don't see this happen very often. Are you going to miss being part of a coaching search in your profession?
I will not miss it, Jim. And I'm glad to tell you why. Nobody knows who's going to be the next great head coach. You've heard of the Peters principle. To me, the greatest example is Josh McDaniels. He was Tom Brady's offensive coordinator. He had the magic. He knew what to do. He won Super Bowls. He's had 2 chances as being head coach, failed both times. There's lots and lots of other whiz kids. Mike McDaniel at Miami, the guy at Robert Saleh with the Jets. you just don't know. So I don't like to get involved with that. The Steelers' last three coaches, Noel, Cowher, and Tomlin, no one had even heard of them. We were shocked. The names came out of nowhere when the day they were hired. Now, that won't happen now because there's so much media attention. I'll give you a better one. Myself and the late, great John Clayton, the day the Pirates hired a manager in 1986, I believe it was, we worked the phone for like 3 hours trying to find who it would be. We couldn't find out who it would be. We couldn't get an inkling of who it would be. And lo and behold, they announced this guy, Jim Leland. Who ever heard of him? And he turned out to be the best baseball manager I've ever been around, that's for sure. So depends on the talent you have in hand, your ability to develop that talent. I believe, and I'm kind of old school on this, I believe execution wins games, not strategy. I don't think you need. Another example, Don Shula, greatest coach, winningest coach of all time. He had Dan Marino for like 10 or 15 years, and an elite A1 quarterback. He got the one Super Bowl and lost it. So you got to have the talent surrounding the players. It's not the coach. Look at Noah's last 10 years. Didn't do much. Look at Tom Landry's last 10 years. Didn't do much. You got to have the players. It's not the strategy. I know that's old school, but I'm sticking to it.
Well, I take it then you would agree with, well, I don't know, I'll ask you. See, everybody says, oh, this is a great job because once you become the Steelers coach, they're not going to give up on you right away. Well, not necessarily, because those guys won. Well, and Noel was in a different situation because that team was just dreadful before he got here and needed time to build up into what he built it up into, thanks to the scouting and drafting and everything else. But, so he didn't win right away, but he won fairly quickly, right? He started winning, I think it was, 3 years, 3 or 4.
Was it fourth season,
Was
Jim.
it fourth season, the Immaculate Reception? Okay. So, but with, Cowher won right away, Tomlin won right away. What's going to happen with? So in other words, but there's no guarantee here because you build up some equity when you win right away. So there's no guarantee that you're a coach for life. Whoever gets hired automatically, they're going to have to produce.
Absolutely. In that coach for life business, the Steelers, they absolutely deserve to have that kind of mention. But that was all. I don't want to say it was all. That was Dan Rooney. Dan Rooney ran the show when Noel was hired. He stuck with him. He ran the show when Cowher was hired. He had no reason to get away from him because he was successful right from the outset. And he's the guy that brought in Tomlin and was there at the start. We don't have any idea how Art Rooney or Art Rooney II, completely get those guys confused, or his son Dan Rooney will react to a coach who comes in and has 2 or 3 bad seasons. We don't know. So it's not a job for life. It may have been at one time. When Tomlin came in, probably would say, this guy's got a long rope. Can't say that anymore.
I think it's unfair, and I've talked about this in past years too, for quite a while. And I know that the league has tried to put some things in place to slow things down a little bit, but it seems that the coaches that, the assistants that are successful, right, the coordinators of the teams that win conferences and so forth, that the longer their team stays in contention and alive in the playoffs, the worse it is for those assistants to get head coaching jobs because all the other teams with vacancies are in such a hurry to hire their next coach to beat the other teams that are looking for coaches.
That's a great point, Jim, and it's very true. You can't get around it. You hope the guy you want gets eliminated from the playoffs early on, and you can do something. But that's part of the business. It's been that way for a long time. Hopefully, in some cases, the team knows who it wants and will wait for the guy. And that could happen with the Steelers. They're kind of, I think, outside the box with how they handle their coaching searches. And one other point, Jim, and I'm sure you remember this. It was widely believed, and Mike Prisuta had this, and Mike was very tuned into the team at the time, a good reporter. He had Russ Grimm getting the job over Tomlin. So that just shows you how, by whatever women may have been, things can change.
Okay, we'll let you go on that, and you're right about that. Yeah, I mean, Mike's as plugged in as anybody at that time. And the funny thing is, when it came to that coaching search, I thought I would have hired, way back when, and no offense to Bill Cowher, who I got to know him pretty well over the years. I thought Holmgren would have been the choice back then. I know Wanstead was the other finalist with Cowher. And then I thought that Ken Wisenhunt was the guy that put up a profile of being, I don't know, he just struck me as a guy that, could stand in front of a room and whatever. I thought he should have been the head coach then, but like you said, Tomlin came out of nowhere. So, Bob,
Wisenhunt was a tremendously impressive guy, Jim. No question about it.
Oh, no.
And one last thing, Jim. Yes. The guys at the breakfast, they miss you.
I know. I thought about that the other day. I will have to put in an appearance. But before I let you go, Bob, we're talking to Bob Smizer. We can maybe get Pomp in here for a little bit in a few minutes. But are you excited about Pirate Fest next weekend?
I wasn't aware that it was coming up.
Well, now you know.
That, Jim.
Now you know.
I went to one Pirate Fest. I took my kids out to Monroeville. That's the only time I ever went to Pirate Fest.
When was that, though?
There'll be people there.
What was that, back in the 80s, 90s?
It was back in the 80s, back in the mid to late 80s, yeah.
So they had it in Monroeville, like with the skating rink was
right.
The skating rink was there and stuff.
I don't quite know why.
Oh, because of the skating rink. Or that Pirate Fest there, I guess. Was that still? When did they get rid of that skating rink in Monroeville? Because I'm trying to think if I moved here in '91, if it was still there then. I
didn't know there was one there, and I lived there until the mid '70s.
Well, you're not a hockey guy, so that's it. So hey, Bob, thank you very much as always.
My pleasure, Jim.
Hope your haircut went off very well earlier today, and we'll talk to you again.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.
All right, bye. All right, that's great, Bob Smizik. And, yeah, I mean, we didn't really get into it because, I mean, I guess, people don't care because if they did, they'd subscribe to newspaper. I'm going to miss the puzzles. Like, I get up every morning. This is terrible. This is like an old person thing where and I did it today before I came in here. I get up, I go online to the Post-Gazette, I print out the crosswords and the jumble every day. And then those are I do those every morning, the crosswords and the jumble. And then what am I going to do after May 3rd? With no crossword, no jumble. I know the Trib has a crossword you can actually do online, so I can do that, but I have to get used to that. All right, so thanks to Bob Smizik. We're going to go away for just a minute, and then maybe we'll get Pomp in here for a little bit if we have a few moments. I think we do. I'm Jim Colony. This is Saturday. Pompiani's coming up next. 93.7 The Fan.
At Bucko's Roofing, we're on top of it. Whether it's siding, roofing, windows, gutters, or insurance claims, you can count on Bucko's for quality customer service. Find us online and get a free quote today.
It's Pittsburgh's #1 roofing company.
Bucko's Roofing.
Start the new year in a brand new ride. South Hills Kia is kicking off January with incredible lease deals. Drive home a 2025 Kia Sorento S all-wheel drive. Only $299 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. Or choose the 2025 Kia Seltos LX all-wheel drive. Just $205 a month for 24 months with $34.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. Lease offers exclude taxes and fees. No security deposit required. Hurry, these January lease offers end February 2nd, 2026. Visit southhillskia.net and start the new year behind the wheel of a brand new Kia.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. 93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com. Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
I'm Matt Harkins with your fan headlines. After snapping their 3-game losing skid with a 6-3 victory over Philadelphia Thursday, the Penguins, who are now in 3rd place in the Metropolitan Division, host the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight at 7. Fan headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. For more, go to 937thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy 2 get 2 free offer.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
What is it that makes the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid an incredible SUV? Is it the spacious interior that's comfy for the whole crew? Or the capability to go off-road? Maybe it's up to 600 plus miles of range. What if it's all of that and more? What is it then? The all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid. So much more than just another SUV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
The certified elder law attorneys at Julian Gray Associates understand the rules of long-term care and disability. They help families avoid mistakes and protect assets to maintain the best lifestyle options. You don't have to do this alone. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Keeping you up to date, even on the weekend.
Did you hear that?
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Bob, I almost threw away my copy for fan weather. That's the thing I always forget. Do you do that too? Like at the end of the hour, you're kind of wrapping up and you're saying, "Oh, here's what's coming up next hour," and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, fan weather."
Kind of rushed on time, and you just trying to get through everything you got to get through, and yeah, sometimes that's the last. But I
feel like I'm going to
look outside. You know what kind of day it is, and that's what lies ahead.
Exactly. I think I'm going to get sued by the Myers Law Group for forgetting them every hour. So how are you? I saw you the other night.
Yes.
Like our Marconi. We have to mention how we got a Marconi Award. Good for us.
That was a nice thing.
Congratulations. That actually was very nice. You go to a nice little dinner at Hyde Park. I like it.
We're very fortunate to have so many great steakhouses in place. And Hyde Park is really one of those that you don't hear a lot about, but you should. Their steaks.
And then I get home and I did bring. Did you have that dessert?
Yes, and I regretted it. It was great. It was
like a tort or something, whatever it was. It was either it wasn't really a cake. It wasn't really a candy. It wasn't really a fudge. I don't know, whatever it was like that. It was really, really rich. I took one try at it, and then I said, "Can I bring this home?"
Yeah, Linda would like it. Bring it to
she did.
her.
Well, we did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of doggy bags. Next day, food tastes somewhat better, I think, too.
Well, I kind of felt bad because there were other people that took advantage of it and brought some of the main course home. I should have thought of that, but I didn't. I didn't.
Depending on what kind of your steak. If it was 14, 16, or 8 ounces.
I only got the 6-ounce filet, but that was good. So what else is going on today? You asked me if I had talked about baseball. My answer was no.
No. I only do it from that contract that Kyle Tucker got from L.A. has caused a lot of consternation among fans. And, they have $2 billion worth of salaries kind of tied up over the next several years, deferring some, however they're creatively doing it. And the question that was always asked is, are the Dodgers ruining baseball? Much like I think people asked that when the Yankees went through this. And the answer is no, they're doing what they're allowed to do. The problem is teams and fans in cities like Pittsburgh, always end up in a bad place just because of revenues. I don't think people realize local revenues in baseball are hugely disproportionate. But it is based on the market you're in, And so while the NFL tends to share just about everything, This sport does not.
Yeah, and actually, I think Dan Rooney was in on, and the Steelers ended up, once things kind of got equitable, I should say, but the Steelers were lucky that happened. Teams like the Packers and the Steelers and that it was done.
All the stories.
But the thing is, they with where it's like one game a week, it's easy to do, and you can see the way that's turned into like the biggest media property that there is.
Mm-hmm.
And I say biggest media now because all of a sudden, it's not just CBS, it's not just NBC, it's not just Fox, it's not just ESPN or ABC.
No,
now we got streaming.
Streaming.
Because
Amazon,
Paramount, you're Paramount Plus.
Paramount
That's
Plus,
you guys, right?
Yeah, Peacock.
How many streaming things do you subscribe to? Or do you even know?
I do, but not a lot. I mean, I'm to the point now where I don't want any more. It keeps costing more. The bill comes it's like, how many, but 20 years ago, we didn't have a cell phone bill. Now that bill is like, in some cases, like a mortgage payment. And then you have on top of that, all these streaming services. You're paying more for this kind of stuff. So luckily, I'm at the station a lot and I get to watch a lot. So.
But you don't get, so you work for, KDKA is owned by
Paramount. Well, now
CBS.
Well, no, Paramount, but Paramount sold to Skydance.
Right.
That's who owns it now.
Which is the Ellison family.
Right.
Well, no, now we're getting, I'm going to get outside my lane here and then half the audience is going to hate me.
Let's go back to the other lane, which was football.
Which is like, but it's everywhere. It's the most valuable property that there is. And yet it was like nationalized, right? Because the Steelers, weren't they on the Dumont network way back when? And then that doesn't exist anymore. But I mean, when we were kids, it was, the AFC was on NBC.
Originally NBC, then it switched over to CBS.
And then
now it's just you don't know who's on with.
Yeah, that's really weird. Like you'll see a Steeler game, and all of a sudden you've got the Fox announcers say, "Oh, wait a minute, that's Tom Brady. What's he doing on the?" And they even when it's an all AFC game, it used to be if you're the visiting team, right? The Steelers are at Seattle, so the game's on
NBC.
That's
Fox.
a CBS game. No, but that. No, the home. I thought it was a visiting team that got the.
Back then there was a rule like that, but then it changed. It's changed quite a bit. But anytime you saw one of those crossover conference games, it depended on if you were the home team or not. But now that's changed.
I've told this story before, but I'm going to say it again before I get into your show here. Is that I got to know Sam Nover because
Sam was one of the best.
When Sam, but he got the Patriots were bad when I was in college, and we got Sam every week. That's how I knew. That's how I knew who Sam Nover was, and good for him. I mean, and he did a good job. But it was like Sam was like in my fraternity. He was like one of us. He was like every Sunday. It's like, oh, we got Sam Nover again.
Sam Nover on the game.
And then I met him, like 13 years later when I came to Pittsburgh. I'm like, I know that voice. Oh, Sam Nover, my goodness. I used to listen to Sam pretty much every Sunday.
Oh, Dick Stockton was on KDKA for many years before he
went to WBZ in Boston. I remember
a lot of very talented people. Sam was one of the best. But yeah, I mean, it's switched over to the point now. Here's one thing I do feel bad about. And I realize the NFL isn't a money-making business. But if I took about 15 emails and or calls from people who are on fixed incomes and do not want to start spending money. Last week's, which game was it? It was I think it was the
there was an Amazon
Saturday.
Game. Yeah.
It was
Green Bay and Chicago.
The fan base that is older and doesn't have the wherewithal, they get shut out. And I don't know how you resolve that, but I feel bad for those people.
Well, the league does do, like, for example, if it's a Paramount or whatever.
In your market.
They put, they will give you.
But not a national game like that.
Right, so if you're like an old
if you're in
school.
Pittsburgh and you want to watch that game and you have a fixed income and you don't have the money to do it, you can't watch it.
Yeah, it is. Well, you know what? That's me. I mean, I didn't watch it, but I didn't really care that much.
Right.
Now,
I'm sure there are ways. If you go to Twitch, you can find live television. Yes.
It's Bob Pompiani for Twitch, West Shore Home, and Twitch. All right, Bob, thank you. I took enough of your time already.
All right, Jimbo.
All right.
Hey, golf season's underway. The Sony Open in Hawaii, it started.
I saw that.
That's not it. We're on the screen. That's Dubai. You ever want to go to Dubai? I do.
No.
Yes. Why not? Dubai's a great place.
It is?
Yes.
How do you know?
Everybody I've talked to who's gone there says
you know people who've gone to Dubai?
I believe Chris Letang honeymooned there.
Did he really?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I do know Chris Letang, but not like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I know a lot of people, and they said it's beautiful, it's very safe. and they keep it the way it is.
You'd go up to that. How tall is that building?
Well, which building? Every year there's a new tall building, one taller than the other. The only thing is it's extremely expensive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, that's one reason. Well, we were just talking about older people on fixed incomes. Although I made big money today, and we're making big money on Monday too. It's a holiday. I'm in Monday morning. Jeff and I are doing the morning show on Monday. I just remembered that.
I'll be in on Monday too, but I don't know if Joe's going to be here.
I saw Joe coach. Since I'm into I went to Joe's game yesterday.
Yeah.
I went to.
He's turned into a very interesting coach. He comes in here all these different hand, and he does it by hand, which I like. I still do.
He has an out of bounds play called Mulsey. And it worked. I was sitting there, so I went to, they played at North Hill, so Mike White's there.
Yeah.
Right, so I sit down next to Mike. Well, oh, Mike White. So then Mike said to me at one point, he goes, he's got an out of bounds play called Mulsey. And so it's underneath your basket, and they ran it. I went to Joe at halftime. It has to be a
3-point play, right?
I can't remember if the kid hit a 3 or not, but the first time they ran it.
9 straight threes, you got to make it a 3-point play.
I know. It worked. But then when they lined up for Mulsey 2 more times, and the configuration looked different each time. But again, we're talking about ninth graders. So, and the best thing about Joe is he was mad at his team for not rebounding. And they just didn't find their guy. They went, the
other day he came in here and was mad about the fact that they got, kind of induced into taking a lot of threes. He said, this game is about coming up with the best, highest percentage shot, not low percentage. They have some good 3-point shooters.
Oh, they were jacking a bunch of threes yesterday. But at one point, with the rebounding not going his way, Joe, all of a sudden, he turns around, walks along the sideline, and then, boom, foot stomp like Boeheim. It was awesome. I sent Joe a text, hey, you're just like Boeheim with a foot stomp. All right, enough of that. Enjoy the rest of your show or what's left of it. I'm Jim Colony. Jeff and I will be in on Monday, the Fan Morning Show. And I think I'm in next Saturday for an hour because it's Pirate Fest.
Oh, and are you going to be at Pirate Fest?
No, I'm going to be here, I think, from 9 to 10.
I think there's a pit game also.
Well, not at 9 in the morning.
No, but 12.
Oh.
Right? Maybe.
Well, plus we've got KDKA News Radio 1020 and AM 100 point.
So somebody
one over the 100 points it is. All right, I'm out of here.
Right.
Bye. Oh,
See
wait a minute.
Jim.
Guess what I forgot?
The weather.
Fan weather.
Look outside, baby.
Is brought
It's
to you by
cold.
Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. Intermittent snow showers, and it's just kind of messy out there, but it's not too bad. But do be careful. If you see some snow, it could reduce your visibility. Says the high's 39. That's not too bad. Matt Harkins, thank you very much. We'll talk to you guys Monday. Bye-bye.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey sports station, live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app. Your hometown building partner since 1956, 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
New year, new ride at Joe Ball GMC. Get a brand new GMC Sierra with up to $11,000 off or 0% or lease for just $279 a month for 24 months. That's $279 a month at Joe Ball GMC, Route 8 Crenshaw. See JoeBallGM.com for details.
FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of 93.7 The Fan, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. And FanDuel is turning on playoff mode. That means all customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the divisional round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app. More boosts mean more ways to level up your playoff bets. Pick the matchups you believe in, take your shot at an upset, or build a parlay that fits the moment. Broncos and Bills in Denver. How about Rams in Chicago to play the Bears? That's my pick of the week. I think the Rams will win in Chicago. I would lay the points and take LA to rebound from its close call against Carolina and knock the Bears out of the playoffs. Apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts while the playoffs keep rolling. So visit FanDuel.com/Andrew and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Bonus issued is now withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms. Sportsbook.FanDuel.com. Gambling problem problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Pellman Electric in Greensburg is a full-service electrical contractor serving all of Western PA. Pellman specialized in new homes, renovations, service upgrades, energy and efficient homes, hot tub, pools, landscape lighting. Call Pellman Electric 724-838-7150 for any electrical needs.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
At JeepofPittsburgh.com, it's our Start Something New sales event. Bring us your best offer on any new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram truck, and we're going to beat it. No games, easy as that. Visit JeepofPittsburgh.com for all the details. We truly are Pittsburgh's Jeep store.
As a detective, I've solved many mysteries, but this one has me stumped.
Why does NJM Insurance remain silent in a world full of catchy jingles?
What are they up to? It's suspicious.
Yet their policyholders all agree.
NJM is amazing. When things go wrong, they do what's right.
But is the world ready for an ad break that's jingle-free? Tune in to Baffling Mysteries, where the story of the missing jingle unfolds.
This fictional podcast is brought to you by NJM. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
A trial is 99% preparation, and nobody prepares better than us. Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Baker's Waterproofing is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
We're gonna be so late for the concert at Point State Park. We should be there by now.
I just need to stop for gas real quick. I know a cheap place down Liberty Avenue.
Are you serious? We're gonna miss the show because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is great. It's a free app that gets you cash back when you buy gas.
Wait, you mean I can get money back just for buying gas?
Yep, and it really works. I've actually made around $200 this year already. Now pull over so you can download Upside before we miss the concert.
Pulling over? You had me at $200.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you buy gas in the Steel City. Use promo code PIT to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. Get the Upside app and use promo code PIT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PIT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Ring in the new year during the Start New sale at Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi, North Hills, and Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi, North Huntington. Get great savings on remaining 2025 models. Drive home a new 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander for 0% APR for 60 months. Or get a 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV for 0% APR for 72 months. Call 412-453-8035 for offer details.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
I'm Matt Harkins with your Fan Headlines. The NFL Divisional Round kicks off this evening as the Buffalo Bills travel to Denver to take on the Broncos at 4:30. You can listen to the game here on The Fan, courtesy of Westwood One, beginning at 3:30. And tonight, the 49ers take on the Seahawks at 8. And then on Sunday, the Texans travel to New England to take on the Patriots, and the Rams travel to Chicago to take on the Bears. Fan Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. For more, go to 97thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. It's time for the Bob Pompiani Show, an in-depth look at local sports with KDKA TV's own Bob Pompiani. Presented by Number One Cockroach, Shenderovich and Fishman. PNC Bank. See how PNC Bank can make a difference for you. The Bob Pompiani Show on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
It's a cold Saturday morning in Pittsburgh. It's a great place to be inside. And if you are, call us. Or if you're driving around, you're running errands, call us. 412-928-9370. Good morning, everyone. Bob Pompiani here with Matty Ice. Matt Harkins behind the glass. Jim Colony has just left the building. And we're talking sports until 1 o'clock at 412-928-9370. Always topical stuff to get into. I will first want to remind you that Fan Twitter is brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net. And if you text the Fan text line, it's brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say there's never a fee unless they get money for you. And there's going to be a lot of money going on. We have a lot to get into. Money in L.A. with the Dodgers. I know a lot of people this time of year want to talk about hope, want to talk about what the Pirates can do to get better and compete. And then you see a team go out and give Kyle Tucker 4 years, $240 million after they've given just about everybody else on that team over $100 million. It's quite crazy, and we'll talk more about that. And the question I have, are they ruining baseball in L.A.? My answer is no. You may say yes, but if so, call. They're going to have most likely a work stoppage at the end of this coming season. And you know what they're going to be talking about. A lot of things, including salary cap, floor, whatever the case may be. I'd like to hear your take on that. Steelers looking for a new head coach for the first time in almost 2 decades. Mike Tomlin has moved on. As I've said to you, I don't think he's going to be doing television. He never seemed to like television. At least that's what he told me. Well, whether or not he does, we'll see. But likely won't coach this year. He'll be in a situation where the Steelers do have control of him in terms of compensation if he should move on someplace else. Where that will be, when that will be, who knows. But in the meantime, the Steelers begin a search, and they have a big list of candidates. We'll talk about each of these guys and whether you think they're the right fit here. And all you have to do is call to air your opinions on this. Again, it's 412-928-9370. I'm into the combination of Shula and Shieldhouse coming to Pittsburgh as a tandem where Shula gets the promotion to head coach, Shieldhouse gets the promotion to offensive coordinator. You satisfy both right there. You satisfy your defensive needs, you satisfy your offensive guy, because you need both, and you certainly need a more fertile game plan offensively. And you have to have, I think, a different version of what's gone on there. And that tree that started with Kyle Shanahan has produced some pretty good fruit, you know? And these two guys are on that. Shieldhouse is. And I'm just curious to see what you think about who should be the next coach and how quick you think it should be done. I think they're going to be very busy. A lot of interviews coming up. As I said, we'll go through the list coming up here at 412-928-9370. Also, we got some very intriguing football games today. And I love intriguing football games. It doesn't necessarily have to involve teams locally or whatever. If they're good football games, they're good football games. 4 of them over the weekend. 2 today, 2 tomorrow. Real quick, I want to run over these matchups and tell me what you think. At 412-928-9370, Buffalo, Denver. This is a rematch from last year's wild card game where Buffalo just absolutely throttled Bo Nix and Denver 31-7. And you might remember in that game, Denver just was outmatched right from the beginning. They also could not stop James Cook in the run game. It wasn't so much Josh Allen, who always plays well, but it was the run game. And James Cook and the rest of those guys in that offensive backfield accounted for 210 yards rushing against the Broncos. So that's going to be a significant matchup. Denver's defense is much better. This year, they're number 1 in sacks. They're number 1 in red zone defensive efficiency. They go after the quarterback, and they know how to get it done. And Josh Allen's going to have to worry about that because if you look at last week's game, he got hit quite a bit in that game against Jacksonville. I thought he'd leave it on 3 different occasions, one with a concussion, also one with what looked like a broken finger on his hand after he hit a helmet, and number 3 was when his ankle got compromised as he went in the goal line. So, but he shook them all off, came back and played very well. So that's a tough hombre right there, and he's going to be up against the number 1 ranked defense in sacks and red zone efficiency today. So it's a totally different Denver team. You know, they brought in some guys who could really help them. Hufanga, they brought him in. Greenlaw, they went for those guys, made a big difference. They have a guy, Zach Allen, who's one of the best at getting to the quarterback. Not necessarily sacking him all the time, but hitting the quarterback. And the Bills, man, if you look at their injury report, it is stacked. 14 players on the injury report. They've already ruled out Jordan Poyer. They've already ruled out Gabe Davis. You might remember last week he got injured down there, and it was a gruesome injury in Jacksonville. So they're going to have to dig deep for this one. And Denver is a slight favorite, surprisingly, 1.5. I thought it'd be more than that. So that's the one game. Then you have a good one coming up tonight also. San Francisco-Seattle. Now, this is a rematch of a game just a couple of weeks ago, which was held in San Francisco. And it was Seattle that went in there and thoroughly dominated that really good offense, even though it's been hampered by injury. And they added another this week with George Kittle out with an ACL. But they only allowed San Francisco at Levi Stadium to score 3 points. That's it against Kyle Shanahan. That's how good they are. They're the top-ranked scoring defense in Seattle. They have home field advantage throughout here, number 1 seed. Mike McDonald calls all the defensive plays. He's very good at what he does. And I think this is a game you look at and you say to yourself, all right, Seattle's going to easily win this game based on what we saw. The point spread tends to agree with you. Seattle is giving 7 points. However, Matt Harkins, I am a little leery about that, only because San Francisco has that moxie. They can, they've only scored 17 points over 20, whatever it is, in 2 games against Seattle. But they're very capable, as they showed in Philadelphia, of coming up with plays when they have to. And the Eagles, most people I talked to said, well, the Eagles are going to beat the 49ers. They don't have much, they have injuries, blah, blah, blah. Well, they came up with some pretty good plays. I think that's a game I'd take the points, right? I like points. Do you like points?
Especially now with a not healthy Darno. Like, I thought Seattle would win that game handily, but if he's not healthy, I give the 49ers a much greater
Sam
chance.
Darnold ended up having some sort of quad or oblique injury or something like, well, not quad, oblique, right?
Yeah.
And he was listed. He popped up on the injury report, but he says he's fine and he will play. But the San Francisco 49ers know that too. So, again, Kittle's out with an injury. That's an interesting game. Seattle, big favorites in that game. I would expect them to win, but I think it's going to be closer than what people think. Then tomorrow you have 2 interesting games. You have Houston, New England. We all know about what Houston did to Pittsburgh to end their season, 30-6, and just was a game that Houston's defense just flexed its muscles, and the Steelers could do nothing about it. And when they had opportunities after turnovers, and boy, C.J. Stroud did everything in his power to give the Steelers an opportunity to win that game, he looked bad, looked tentative, looked unwilling to run when he had opportunities to run. Houston at New England. New England's a favorite. All right. We know that going in. So the line is New England minus 3.5. Thought it might be a little bit more than that because they have the number 1 scoring offense in the AFC at 28.8. That's the matchup right there. It's whether or not the Houston Texans can stop that offense and whether Houston's offense can do a little bit against the New England defense. And we'll see how that goes. But New England was a great season there. And Mike Vrabel certainly one of those guys who may win Coach of the Year after going worst to first. Nico Collins is out. That's a big loss for Houston. He got concussed here. Although Christian Kirk came in and looked like Puka Nacua. I mean, he was, I don't know what his yardage numbers were, but it was well over 100 yards against the Steelers, and he had not been a factor pretty much all season long. And so that happened. And then tomorrow night, maybe the most intriguing game. Matt, if you could check out the weather in Chicago for tomorrow, I'm just curious. They had a big snowstorm, very cold temperatures. Matthew Stafford in his career is 1-9. We made a big deal about, teams that can't play outside of dome stadiums. Well, guess what Houston did? They did. They won on the road pretty decisively against the Steelers last week. Well, Stafford is 1-9 in temperatures below 30 degrees. I'm going to throw that number out. I still think Matthew Stafford is capable of dealing with that condition. This is an interesting matchup, maybe the most of the day. You got the Rams at 13-5. You got Chicago at 12-6. Caleb Wilson, keep this in mind, or Williams. Caleb Williams was sacked 68 times in his rookie season. So what did the Bears go out and do? And they fortified their offensive line. They knew they had to. Something Cincinnati has not done for Joe Burrow. And this year sacked 24 times. That's a massive drop off. Now, a lot of this is his ability to get out of the harm's way and rush. But Caleb Williams has been Houdini late in games. He's brought teams back, although I think Green Bay just screwed that whole thing up last week themselves, which is why they're out. And that's good news if you're Chicago, because since Thanksgiving, the Los Angeles Rams have allowed 27 or more points in all but one of their games. They're giving up a ton of points. Now, can their defense, with the strength of their defense, is getting to the quarterback? Can they get to him? And if they miss him and he escapes, look out down the field. That could be the difference of that game. So we'll talk about all these games coming up at 412-928-9370.
Ready for the weather for Chicago?
Yeah, what is it?
Afternoon snow, high of 22, low of 2.
What about tomorrow? Low of 2.
That is tomorrow, low of 2, yeah.
So 2 degrees wind chill, any wind chill going on there?
2.
Okay, so it's, all right, still cold. 2 degrees, Soldier Field. Very interesting. Harbaugh goes to the Giants. Your thoughts there? We're going to get into the Penguins as well. Nice win the other night. And, when they play well, they play well. They really do. And I thought they had the better of the Flyers, a team that was desperate for a win in that case. The Penguins knocked them down 6-3. 412-928-9370 is the number to call. It's also golf season for those of you who like golf season, like I do. The Sony Open is underway in Hawaii. If you just want to warm up, watch the Sony Open at beautiful Oahu. At the the Kahala Hilton. That's where that place is located. There's beautiful scenery out there, and we'll see who wins and starts this season off on the PGA Tour. One thing we're going to see is Brooks Koepka will return with a heavy penalty after he wants to live. How many others will follow? The major winners, like John Rahm, have an opportunity if they want to do it, but there's some pretty stiff penalties involved, although they made so much money going there in the first place, I don't think it'll be a problem. All right, we're going to take a break. Open up the phone lines right now at 412-928-9370. We'll get into all of the things I talked about coming up. Want to hear from you. Who should be the Steelers' next head coach? We'll go through the list. What preference would you have? Offense, defense? Does it matter to you as long as they bring in the right staff? And it looks like it's going to be an entirely new staff. So a new era of Steelers football is about to begin. And they got a lot to do in a short period of time. You got to find a coach. They're hosting the draft. You got OTAs after that. Everything's going to be just moving fast forward here on a moving train, as Mike Tomlin used to say. Bob Pompiani with you until 1. Matt Harkins behind the glass. If you want to join the conversation, call now at 412-928-9370. We're back with those comments next right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
When the cold hits, don't let your furnace catch you off guard. Get your $79 furnace tune-up from Sullivan Super Service and make sure it's running smoothly. For just $79, their experts will perform a thorough 20-plus point inspection, clean your system, check filters, test for carbon monoxide leaks, and more. Lower energy bills, fewer breakdowns, and a furnace ready for winter, all for just $79. Call Sullivan Super Service today or visit sullivanservice.com to book your tune-up.
Ready for action, basketball fans? BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, is giving players another reason to hit the court this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to every basket, every slam dunk, and every buzzer-beating shot with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and same-game parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify your winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like dark mode, too. Log in to BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, all throughout the basketball season to see what's new. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Pennsylvania only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days.
That's another amazing run by Team USA.
Mom, think I'll be on Team USA one day?
Well, I'll take this one.
What? Are you speaking to us?
Yes, and to answer your question, anything's possible, especially with Xfinity.
So, I can be the best snowboarder ever?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but Xfinity can guarantee that your internet price won't change for 5 years.
Okay. What if I practice every day?
Then maybe you'll be snowboarding for Team USA at the next Olympic Winter Games. And Mom, you'll still be paying the same price for Wi-Fi.
Ooh, really stuck the landing there. It's the Xfinity Gold Medal Celebration. Now through February 22nd, get our best price on gig Wi-Fi for 5 years guaranteed, just $50 a month. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. That's a $10.99 value per month. Xfinity. Imagine that. Proud partner of Team USA. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Actual speeds vary.
Ring in the new year with a little magic from Spitzer Toyota Monroeville. Want a lifetime warranty and complimentary maintenance? Want rewards and an easy-to-use Spitzer VIP app? Granted. Want to lease a new 2026 Toyota Corolla LE from $165 a month? Granted. Hurry in and grant your New Year's wishes today. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Toyota Monroeville.
At Spitzer, our world revolves around you.
TSRP 25,082. VIN 5YFB4 MDE 5TP 390565. 39 months. $4,099 do it signing through TMS with approved credit. Does not include title tax, license, registration, accessories, and dealer fees. $477 doc fee. 0 security deposit. 10K miles per year. See dealer for details. Ends 2/2/2026.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Paramount Plus is the new home of UFC, and we're coming out swinging with UFC 324.
Oh, what a shot!
And 325 on back-to-back weekends. The new era is here.
It's time!
Every fight.
Bam!
One subscription.
Oh my goodness!
Pay-per-view just got knocked out. Back-to-back blockbuster UFC events this month, only on Paramount Plus.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
I'm Al Harkins with your fan headlines. Pitt men's basketball will look to make it 2 in a row and get back to 500 when they host number 20 Louisville tonight at 8 p.m. at the Pearson Event Center. Our coverage here on The Fan begins at 7:30. A few of the other top games across college basketball Saturday. Number 3 UConn takes on Georgetown at noon. Number 19 Florida takes on number 10 Vanderbilt at 2. Number 1 Arizona takes on UCF at 4. Number 6 Duke travels to Stanford at 6. And number 11 BYU takes on number 15 Texas Tech at 8. Fan headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. For more, go to 97thefan.com.
Home remodeling shouldn't be stressful. Hey, it's Bob Pompiani, and West Shore Home is proving it doesn't have to be. With real-time scheduling and precision scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and very convenient. That's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, doors, you name it, they do it. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bathroom model, you'll get a second shower for free and lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the program. But you need to schedule this right now at westshorehome.com/fan.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Paramount Plus is the new home of UFC, and we're coming out swinging with UFC 324.
Oh, what a shot!
And 325 on back-to-back weekends. The new era is here.
It's time!
Every fight.
Bam!
One subscription.
Oh my goodness!
Pay-per-view just got knocked out. Back-to-back blockbuster UFC events this month, only on Paramount Plus.
New year, new rewards on DraftKings Casino. Start the year with boosted rewards. For a limited time, all players get a free chance at 50,000 in credits every day with daily rewards rocket on DraftKings Casino. Take your free chance at an out-of-this-world reward. Download the app now and sign up with code THEFAN. And then launch 3 rockets for a chance at 50,000 in credits. Come back to launch rockets daily for more rewards. The crown is is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older. Physically present in Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. 3 launches per day for rewards. Launches expire each day at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Non-withdrawable rewards and amounts vary per launch and are subject to game and expiration limits. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram kicks off the year of more. More selection, more discounts, more for your trade. The Start Something New sales event offers up to $10,000 off on Ram 1500s. Jeep Wrangler Sports or Grand Cherokees, your choice from only $329 a month. Plus, we will buy or trade any vehicle regardless of remaining payments. Winning team, customer-driven, world-class facility. The bow tie means a better buy. Get more at crownjeep.com. See dealer for details on all offers.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Covering Pittsburgh sports like only he can.
Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound.
This is the Bob Pompiani Show on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
All right, welcome back as we roll along here. Many things to get into, and we like to do with people out there on the phone lines. I've brought up a lot of stuff, so I'd love to hear your response to it. So let's get right to it, beginning with George in Ligonier. Hello, George.
Morning, Bob.
Good, how are
you? Yeah, well, golf, it's going to warm up soon enough for golf. What about Jesse? Do you have any thoughts on Jesse Minter from Chargers?
Yeah, I mean, he's out there. A lot of people are interested. I believe he's already done some interviews. I know that, who is it? I forget, one of the guys already is going for a second interview with the Raiders. I'm not sure who it is. It may be Ivero, the guy from the Panthers, the defensive coordinator there. So they're, the Steelers are a little bit behind the 8 ball here, given how a lot of these firings occurred earlier and interviews have already been done. So they got their work cut out for them.
Is he on their list?
Ivero? Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they have a lot of guys on their list right now. I've counted up to 8.
Yeah.
So, what is your thought about just generally what kind of coach you want to see?
I kind of like what they've had in the past, a young, defensive-oriented coach, but then they got to find a offensive coordinator that he can work with.
That's why my package comes from the Rams. Anything under Sean McVay I like. Shula as the head coach, he's the DC there, and Scheelhaus, who will become Steelhaus by the time he gets here, will be the offensive coordinator.
All right, thanks.
I like both, though. I don't know if they'll go for that. Scheelhaus may get his own job, but thanks for the call at 412-928-9370. Greg in Youngstown is up next. Hello, Greg. How are you?
Hey, Bob. How's it going?
Good.
I'm going to say who I don't want, who I want, and what I'm doing with the quarterback room.
Okay.
Who I don't want is Flores. That's Tomlin Mach 2. He's a troublemaker. You don't want him. I don't want to even touch him with a 10-foot pole, and I thought his defense stunk anyway last year. I want the guy for the Rams, like you said, and I want that quarterback coach. That's what I want. I want Shula and the quarterback coach as my offensive coordinator. About the quarterback room, I'm not drafting a quarterback. I'm not picking up a free agent quarterback. I'm playing Rudolph, Howard, and Skylar Thompson. If we lose every game, we get Manning. I don't want Willis. I don't want to have to spend money on a guy you have no clue if he's going to be good. Just either win with these guys or lose with these guys. Don't try to do something that's not going to work. The quarterbacks in the draft stink. So I want receivers, defensive linemen. I want a safety. I want to rebuild this team. I don't care about quarterback this year at all.
Well, to your point, you may not be in a position to do that. So instead of trying to, and I also believe if these coaches can develop, if you bring in guys who are good offensively, even a guy like Mason Rudolph, I don't think he's being given enough shot here since he had his nice season end a few years ago where he got him into the playoffs by winning 3 in a row, including Seattle. I think if you get guys who can develop quarterbacks, I think if you look, you mentioned Malik Willis. I think in a different system, which is a better offensive system in Green Bay, the one time you saw him, he looked very good in that playoff game. I will caution people about Malik Willis, and I'm going to use this example because I remember a guy, and I believe his name was Matt Flynn, and he was with – who was he with? And he ended up going
Green Bay.
Green Bay, and he signed a big deal with Seattle.
Seattle.
And it was like $60 million based on 1 or 2 games. I don't know that I have a conclusion on Malik Willis. Would I be against him coming here? Maybe not. But I tend to agree overall with your assessment, Greg. That is, I would not force the quarterback. They've been kicking this can down the road and trying to patchwork it all together, and they're in a tough position there. But I would let it sort of come to me and build up your team as much as you can so that the quarterback, whoever it is this season, will be in a position to help your team. And if not, you draft it over.
Real quick about Rudolph. He has never had a quarterback coach on any of the teams he was on.
That's what I'm saying.
Every team he was on was horrible. So give him a quarterback coach.
And the same goes for Will Howard. Right, I agree with that. And thanks for the call, Greg. I think both guys would be better with somebody who can develop those quarterbacks quickly, and we'll see how that goes. That's why I think it's even though it doesn't matter to me who's your head coach as far as defensive or offensive backgrounds, that coach has to bring in somebody who's really good when it comes to offense. And if that happens, I think you can satisfy both right there. All right, back to the lines. We got Jay in Pittsburgh who joins us on line 3. Hello, Jay.
Hey, Bob. Great to hear you. I have a question about the national championship Monday. What's your thoughts on Cignetti being from Pittsburgh and also Carson Beck going for his 3rd national championship with Miami being at home? It's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, the one thing that isn't amazing to me, Jay, is the price of tickets. And on the secondary market, they range from $4,000 a seat to $15,000 a seat. And I guess there are people willing to do it. Now, I have a friend of mine who is going down there, and he was just belaboring the point of the parking, which I didn't realize was this big of a problem. But apparently, it's a very congested traffic pattern out of Hard Rock Stadium. And he was investigating like drive shares, people to Uber, Lyft, whatever. Because if you want to park around Hard Rock, they're charging as much as $700 per car to park. So it's ridiculous. And if you want to take an Uber, you have to walk from the stadium 2.5, 3 miles to get, because Ubers will not go into that traffic jam. Anyway, as far as the game, Kirk Cignetti should stay right where he is. That's my answer to your question. He has a great thing going there. He has a lot of money coming into his program, Jay. Why would you want to leave at this point?
Right, I agree with you. With him being from IUP, it's like a big deal. Just from like a Pittsburgh native, and also like it's amazing just to see Carson Beck just going for his 3rd national championship. It's just a lot of big implications with this game.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's been good. Miami and a lot of people didn't think they'd get in, Jay, so they did, and they're making the most of it. Thanks for the call. I also think if Notre Dame had gotten in, and that's a guy that I think, I don't know if he's just not willing to do interviews, but Marcus Freeman, we've talked about him before. Marcus Freeman is a very good candidate, and he to me represents everything I think the Steelers would want. What Art Rooney said he was looking for as far as leadership. He has that command. To me, he looks like that guy, but I don't know. He's not on the list. That may be by his own choosing. So we will see. But there are other guys. I do think it's important to interview guys like Kevin Stefanski. I would like to gain information about him. Even Mike McCarthy, if he's not going to be the guy, and you may say you're wasting your time, I'd just like to hear from them and about their philosophies, how they view the Steelers organization, all these kinds of things as you go through this process. All right, now we'll go out to, let's go to Mike in Wexford. Hey, Mike, how are you doing today?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. What's up?
I just want to talk about how I would like an offensive-minded coach, but at the same time, whether it's in the draft, we obviously need a wide receiver too, but whether it's Will Howard or not, I think we need a athletic quarterback, young quarterback that can open up the playbook in whatever we do for the offense.
So you're suggesting what? That you just go with Howard or Rudolph, or
go Will Howard or get someone in the draft, whether it's Trinidad or you know.
You may not be in a position to get the guys you want. I wouldn't take a guy just because he's a quarterback. It has to be the one I really believe would be the guy to come here, and that may not make itself available in this draft coming up. And
we do have a lot. We do have a lot of draft picks we could trade up.
But it costs a ton to move where they want to go. And I'm talking about not just 3rd round, not 4th, 5th. You're talking about high-end 1st round, 2nd round picks and multiple ones to get to where they want to go. I just don't see them doing that. So it's going to be interesting. But you're right. They need receiving help, too. They've done this for 2 years in a row. They need more people.
For sure. Yeah. I say wide receiver in the 1st round, and then I don't know I think you just stick with Rudolph and Will Howard.
Yeah, that may be the way it goes, and they'll bring in some veteran along the way as well. Remember, they still have Skylar Thompson, although I think it's a one-year deal. I'm not sure what his deal is, and he looked pretty good in the preseason. Not to say he's your guy moving forward, but he is a body. All right, Paul in Washington. Paul, you're on Bob Pompiani Show, Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Go ahead.
How are you, Bob? Good to speak to you on a Saturday for a change, minus Giuseppe.
Giuseppe will be... Well, we got Matty Ice in here today, so you can talk to Matty Ice.
Matty Ice, baby. Okay, well, here we go, Bob. I mean, a glorious day it was this week. We never saw it coming. We were hoping and praying it would happen. I mean, I think there's one thing that people are overlooking. He had 4 wins in 18 seasons, and 3 of those wins, if I'm not correct, were on the road to the Super Bowl. Is that correct?
Well, ever since that second Super Bowl run, right, the cupboard has been bare with playoff wins.
Right.
What would you do? What would you do moving forward? As I'm crunching.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Bob. I actually think Art should look at maybe bringing me in for an interview, because the biggest problem is personnel. Our scouting department, I don't know who they're scouting, Little Sisters of the Poor or what, but you look at these last 15 drafts, there's nothing there. Guys aren't getting second contracts. We're cutting guys. I mean,
and I think that's a good point. But also, the last 2 have been much better. At least they've gotten players.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna say the last 2 haven't bared some fruit, but the way that we let this man go about overseeing everything when it came to prospects and draft, I mean, it set our organization back years. And I want to bring attention to something else, Bob.
All right, make it quick, please. I have 30 seconds.
Matthew Berry at ESPN took a shot at us over our reaction to him resigning. I think you, as the prime emperor of KDKA Sports News, should, maybe send a message to Mr. Berry that he don't know what it means to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And that's all I got to say.
All right, Paul. Thank you very much. Yeah, listen, I'm not one of those people. I just don't root for anyone to be fired, regardless. I just don't. It's not the way I go business. You get to know these guys. Should there be changes? Sure, changes should occur. But for me to lead cheers on that, I'm not going to do it. I didn't see what you're talking about with Matthew Berry, but bottom line is it's a new start. So we should focus on that. And when we come back, we got a lot of people who have thoughts about the head coach and where they should get it, what it should be, what it would look like in a coaching staff. I want to hear from you. I do want to get in some Penguin talk for those hockey fans out there, because I thought, they've been playing pretty good hockey. They got a big game tonight against Columbus, and they've gotten some very interesting contributions from people you would never expect. At least I didn't coming into the season. 412-928-9370. That's the number to call. We'll take a break. We got a Matty Ice headlines, and then more of your calls are right here on the Bob Pompiani Show.
New year, new ride at Joe Ball GMC. Power up in a brand new GMC Canyon with up to $1,700 off. Built tough, ready for work or the weekend. Upgrade your truck today at Joe Ball GMC. Route 8 Glenshaw. Details at joeballgm.com.
Our veterans and their families make great sacrifices to protect our nation. Now it's time for them to receive assistance in their time of need as they age. If you are a veteran or the spouse of a veteran, contact Julian Gray Associates to speak with one of their VA-accredited attorneys to find out how you can receive compensation for the costs of care you are receiving in your home or a long-term care facility. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
For all station contest rules, go to 937thefan.com/rules.
Crown Mitsubishi kicks off the year of more. More selection, more discounts, more for your trade. 7-passenger Outlander, 0% financing for 72 months, or up to $7,000 off. Eclipse Cross, up to $4,000 off. PHEVs, gotta go. Now to $10,000 off. Plus, we will buy or trade any vehicle regardless of remaining payments. New ownership, improved process, better deal. Better deal. The bow tie means a better buy. Get more at CrownMitsubishiPA.com. See below for details on all offers.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-908-8646 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-908-8646. That's 800-908-8646. What do you have to lose? Call 800-908-8646. Again, 800-908-8646.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vid. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. 93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com. Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
I'm Matt Harkins with your fan headlines. After snapping their 3-game losing skid with a 6-3 victory over Philadelphia Thursday, the Penguins, who are now in third place in the Metropolitan Division, host the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight at 7. Fan headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. For more, go to 937thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy two, get two free offer.
Hey everyone, this is Bob Pompiani. Got some news for you. Let's count the ways that number one Cochran Kia delivers a clearly better car buying experience. You know, first, they have a huge selection of new Kia models with hundreds of models in stock. From the K4 and the Sportage to the Telluride and Carnival, there is a vehicle for every lifestyle. Second, number one Cochran's clear-cut pricing. It's a structure that gives you their absolute best price up front. This simplifies the buying process and makes for an enjoyable, stress-free experience. Third, their exceptional lease and APR financing rates are designed for maximum allowable savings so you can drive home your dream car. Clearly, better car buying. It's transparent, it's hassle-free, and it's a number one Cochran Kia exclusive. Test drive today at their location on Campbell's Run Road in Robinson, or you can shop online now at CochranKia.com.
Imagine fulfilling all your office furniture needs under one roof. At Tri-State, we make it simple. From liquidations and office moves to design services, architectural walls, installation, and everything in between. No project is too big and no project is too small. And with our family of companies, Tri-State Office Furniture, Tri-State Office Interiors, and Tri-State Office Express, you get every solution in one place. Why go anywhere else? Call 412-771-0760. Experience the Tri-State difference.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Ring in the new year during the Start New sale at Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi, North Hills, and Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi, North Huntington. Get great savings on remaining 2025 models. Drive home a new 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander for 0% APR for 60 months. Or get a 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV for 0% APR for 72 months. Call 412-453-8035 for offer details.
In the 70s, a poet named Bob Pompiani took the movers and shakers of the sports world all around the world.
Back with more of the Bob Pompiani Show on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Rolling along here on a snowy Saturday in Pittsburgh, 412-928-9370. Join us tomorrow night and every Sunday night for the number one Cochran Sports Showdown. That's after the late news on KDK TV. Back to the lines we go. We have Matt in Indiana. And if it's Indiana, either state or IUP, if you're there, I'm sure you have some good thoughts about the Hoosiers. Matt, is that what you want to talk about or not?
No, it was about the Pirates.
Okay.
I'm, IUP is where my alma mater. So yeah, that part, Indiana. But I want to talk about the contract that was just given out to Tucker and how I know the Dodgers are just playing the game as it's allowed, but $60 million on average a year for a guy who's probably going to bat fifth or sixth in your lineup, I just think is insane and hurting the sport.
Well, so you do think the Dodgers are a problem, but what are they doing that makes you, if you were rooting for that team, you'd say, wow, good. We're just doing what we have to do to win. I like that. But at the same time, you're right about this. If you look at their contracts, these are the guys. So I made a list last night because I was like, oh, man, here we go again. Feeling a little bit like you, Matt. These are the guys who have contracts in excess of $100 million. You know about Shohei Ohtani, $700 million. Mookie Betts, 12 years, $365. You have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 12 years, $325. You have Tucker now, he's getting $60 million a year. And I don't think he was all that good last year. I do recognize he's young and he's a guy who can certainly help. Then you have Blake Snell, right? I almost said Ian Snell. 5 years, $182 million. Go down the list. Is Freeman in that group? I'm sure he is. Is Will Smith in that group? I'm sure he is. Is Tyler Glasnow in that? Yes. So that's why you have $2 billion in contracts you're looking at. So what do you suggest they do?
Baseball as a whole. I mean, I'd love to see a cap and a floor introduced, even though I don't think that will help the Pirates. I think the Pirates have internal problems with developing players. I still think that won't fix the issue for them, but I do think on the whole that will make baseball more enjoyable for the average fan in small market teams and even in the middle of the road teams.
And I agree with that, but I would also go so far as even if I don't get a floor, I want a cap. Because then you at least know that the Dodgers can't and the Yankees can't hold everyone. You know what I mean? They at some point you reach a cap and you've got to back off, and it would make others available to be taken by those franchises that don't have it. Maybe they just need one guy. They may not be willing to spend whatever the floor is, but yeah, generally speaking, I think they need that. And I think ultimately when you look at it, without a system, Matt, what happens is the guys who are at the very pinnacle of their games, they get all the money. Trickle down, it doesn't, a lot of other guys don't get it because there's not enough money for anyone else. So the high end talent gets it, which is fine, but you got to figure out a system, and that's why they're looking at a stoppage down the road. So there's going to be a lot involved in this season.
And my only other thing I wanted to ask you on your thoughts, so it looks like the Pirates are probably going to be out on Suarez at third base. I do think the Pirates are close to being a competitive team. I do think they need at least a slightly above average third baseman. Do you have any idea where they think they should turn at that point, or where you think they're going to turn?
Am I missing something? Did Suarez sign with somebody?
No, it just everything I'm reading sounds like the Pirates are long shots on him.
I don't know why though. It looked like on Spot Track here, they're talking about $15 to $20 million a year or whatever. That's very doable, and I don't care about anything other than his power bat. If you can hit 49 home runs, you can be on my team. Period.
I completely agree. They need more power in that infield. They did add some, but I think someone in Suarez would push you over the edge to be competitive. I do think they're that bad away, but I just don't know if they're going to do it or not.
Now that Bregman is in Chicago, these teams are making things happen. And the Pirates, they did go out and sign people. Good, but they need to do more. They can't just stop there, especially given the fact that the ticking going on in Paul Skeens' future is happening. You better cash in while you can. All these contracts indicate to me that if you ever thought there was a way that Skeens would stay here, if you had that thought, you were in 1%. Now you should be down to 0%. Because all this money being thrown out there indicates he's going to get as much as he wants from anyone.
If you're giving $60 million a year out for the Dodgers, imagine what Paul Skeens is going to get as a generational talent. It's just going to be crazy.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. 412-928-9370. Let's go down to the bottom of the board. Here we have Brett in the South Side, who's been waiting a while. What's up, Brett?
Hey, Bob. Nice to talk with you.
You too. What's up?
So let me just put a tie ribbon on that last call. Hey, if we quit drinking Wiggle whiskey, then maybe the floor will rise, because it seems like that's what he's paying is the revenue he's getting from Wiggle for the Pirates. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to give a little love to Coach T. I think that he was a player's coach, and to me that means if I want to play for somebody, I want somebody who cares about me and my family, my financial needs, and my future, humanity, and that. And the thing is he did do that, and he did that.
Yeah, and that's a strong suit for sure. That was a big part of it.
He did that to the utmost degree. I used to run the mowing crew on the South Side. He walked in I didn't know who the heck he was. He walked in as a rookie coach. 3 years later, I got to know him a little bit. And I think the thing is that the things changed. The league changed. It went from these days it's all about TikTok and individual players. It changed about managing these young men as opposed to if you have the people like Troy and Ben and Joey Porter and Hines Ward. It just changed. And so I think that where he failed was his players failed him. He treated them like...
I also think, listen, it's a two-way street here. You still have to get the best out of them, and especially in the postseason and roster composition, all of that's on the table for the head coach.
Bob, which is why I've been actually advocating for Coach T to be gone 5 years ago. So, that being said, I do want to give him much respect and love because I don't want it to be like, okay, we're happy. It's a bittersweet thing. Now let's transition towards the future. I think that actually we have a year of rebuild. We're not going to get somebody in the draft. So we've got somebody high on Will Howard like a John Gruden. We've got the guys from L.A. Let's bring in the guys from L.A., the head coach, offensive coordinator. Hey, as a quarterback coach, why not Gruden? If he's willing to come here, let's let him try to make something out of Will Howard. He claims that Will Howard is great. Give him a 1-year contract.
Well, and Brett, thanks for the call. I'm up against the break here, but I just want to say this. People, for whatever reason, don't think Will Howard should be given an opportunity or cannot handle one. What I will tell you is when you look at Fernando Mendoza, you're looking at the same sort of player. Now, he's hot prospect number one, and he's been terrific. He's earned that in that system with Mike Shanahan from Pitt and Norwin as his offensive coordinator over there, by the way. I mean, I think why wouldn't you think Will Howard, who's won a national championship in a high-profile team, would be any different than Fernando Mendoza, who's maybe will win a championship for a high-profile team now. I mean, to me, I wouldn't rule anything out. And I think you can spend a lot of time bringing in other quarterbacks if you don't give the guys sometimes that you have a chance. Brett,
you're right.
All right, we got to go, man. I appreciate the call, though. Thank you. We got Rich, Ricky, Jim, Tony, Johnny, Larry. We got them all coming up. We'll try to squeeze all your calls in. It's 412-928-9370. Talk more about Indiana and Miami since we brought that up. But Mendoza and Will Howard, compare the two. Tell me strengths and weaknesses. I see a lot of similarities, and if that's the case, why not give him an opportunity? Yes, quarterback still has to be figured out, but they do have things on this team, which is why, to me, it's still a very good job in the NFL. They don't have the quarterback. That's a big demerit right now, but they got to figure that out. But they got an offensive line that's getting better. I think they have two very good running backs for now. They need to find wide receiving help for Metcalf. They have some tight ends, and I wish they would feature Freiermuth even more. And defensively, with Joey Porter emerging along with Harmon up front, Keanu Benton, and edge linebackers are all pretty good and still very serviceable. You still have the makings of something they could add to it. We'll see what happens. We got to take a break. Matt Harkin's coming up with a headline. We have more calls on the way to 1 right here. It's the Bob Pompiani Show, Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. I want to tell you also before I go about the weather. And here it is. It's brought to you by Myers Law Group, Pittsburgh's choice for affordable legal solutions. You got intermittent snow. We saw some overnight. Flurries accumulating less than an inch or so. Heavier if you go east of the city. High temperature of 39 degrees. That's Willie Parker. That's fast moving. That's what the weather has been lately. We'll be back with more right after this on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey sports station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app. Your hometown building partner since 1956. 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims, and in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
New year, new ride, better value. South Hills Kia is bringing you outstanding January lease deals. Upgrade to a 2025 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive for just $359 a month for 36 months with 39 $39.99 due at signing. Or take home a 2026 Kia Sportage LX all-wheel drive. Only $229 a month for 24 months with $39.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. Lease offer excludes taxes and fees. No security deposit required. Hurry, these January lease offers end February 2nd, 2026. Visit southhillskia.net and start the new year behind the wheel of a brand new Kia.
84 Lumber has partnered with Anderson Windows and Doors to bring a brand new showroom to Mount Lebanon. From homeowners to industry pros, everyone can see, touch, and interact with various series of Anderson windows and a wide variety of doors to make the most informed decision for their build. 84 Lumber experts are on site to demonstrate product features, answer your questions, and even schedule a visit to the job site for measuring and installation. Your budget matters and flexible financing options are available. Call today to schedule a personal consultation at 570-507-8015.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
At JeepOfPittsburgh.com, it's our Start Something New sales event. Bring us your best offer on any new Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram truck, and we're going to beat it. No games, easy as that. Visit JeepOfPittsburgh.com for all the details. We truly are Pittsburgh's Jeep store.
Here's Sports Radio 93.7 The Fans, Fan About Town. Obsessed with pizza? So are they at Slice on Broadway. The 2025 winner of World's Best Cheese Pizza Slice is right here in the Burgh with 6 Pittsburgh locations. Always serving delicious New York-style pizza, hoagies, and salads. Order yours today. Visit sliceonbroadway.com. New York style, yins are made. Get to Taft Brick Oven and Pour House on Route 30 East in Greensburg. And be sure to check out their new winter cocktail specials. Come see what everyone is raving about. Happy New Year from D'Amelio Heating and Cooling. D'Amelio's services heating and cooling, commercial refrigeration, and tap beer systems. D'Amelio's services all brands and provides 24-hour service. D'Amelio's is a Carrier Factory certified dealer. D'Amelio's Heating and Cooling, 724-838-9360. For more information, visit 937thefan.com.
We're gonna be so late for the concert at Point State Park. We should be there by now.
I just need to stop for gas real quick. I know a cheap place down Liberty Avenue.
Are you serious? We're gonna miss the show because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is great. It's a free app that gets you cash back when you buy gas.
Wait, you mean I can get money back just for buying gas?
Yep, and it really works. I've actually made around $200 this year already. Now pull over so you can download Upside before we miss the concert.
Pulling over. You had me at $200.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you buy gas in the Steel City. Use promo code PIT to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. Get the Upside app and use promo code PIT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PIT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-823-5544. That's 800-823-5544. 800-823-5544.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Coming off a 6-3 win over the Flyers on Thursday night, the Penguins are back on the ice tonight at PPG Paints Arena. Blue Jackets Penguins puck drop is at 7 p.m. Headlines are powered by Bowser Genesis of Chevrolet. More at 937thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. in-depth look at local sports with KDKA TV's own Bob Pompiani. Presented by Number One Cockroach, Shenderovich, and Fishman. PNC Bank. See how PNC Bank can make a difference for you. The Bob Pompiani Show on Sports Radio 93.7, The Fan.
Rolling along on a wintry Saturday in Pittsburgh. Bob Pompiani with you. Now it's Logan Arblaster behind the glass as Matty Harkins has left the building. But you can still call that number at 412-928-9370. If you'd rather text, the Fan text line is available to you. It's brought to you by Edgar Snyder & Associates, a personal injury law firm where they always say there's never a fee unless they get money for you. And the Twitter site here at the Fan is brought to you by South Hills Kia in Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net. And if you're interested in golf, I see the Sony Open on in front of me in Hawaii, first event of the year because the one at Kapalua had to be canceled, but golf season will be here. It's actually not here right now. It is. If you go to, there's some great facilities. 9 Yards Golf Lounge in both Ross and Washington County have some great availabilities to you. It's a great night out. You could hit and play so many different golf courses around on those simulators. Those are brought to you by Golf Zone. It's a very interesting technology that they use at 9 Yards Golf Lounge. In the meantime, bing, ding, 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 we have some breaking news. Another big contract handed out by Major League Baseball. Bo Bichette and the New York Mets have agreed to a 3-year, $126 million deal. That's $42 million a year. So he'll be, along with Francisco Lindor, part of that middle part of the infield, hit .311 last year. Money just keeps flowing in baseball. It's unbelievable. And it's worth it, I guess. If you look at his numbers, he has an 840 OPS in his career in Toronto. He's a big-time hitter. Bo Bichette to the Mets. All right, back to the lines. We got a lot of people waiting. Jim in Omaha will be first. Jim, and then Rich in Forest Hills will be after him. We got a lot of calls. I'll try to whip through them. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, great. Thank you for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice, that you moved to Omaha eventually to hear you still, sports media in Pittsburgh. I mean, thank you.
Well, thank you.
No, you really are. You take call. I mean, you do everything so well, and it's so nice, growing up in Johnstown, now eventually moving out here and hearing you on the radio. So, just wanted to get your thoughts. Who's your number one coach you think they should go after right now at this point? I went to IUP, so I'm going to say, but the mentality is, well, we want someone for 20 years. To me, the game's changed. So I think you should go someone that gets 2 Super Bowl runs at least. For 5 to 7 years, go at it. But I just want to hear your thoughts.
Well, and thanks, Jim, for that. I think, as I said, I'm a big. If I could somehow finagle this, I want Chris Shula as the defensive coordinator of the Rams to be the head coach, and I would take Nate Scheelhaus as the offensive coordinator. They both are up for head coach, and I'm sure Scheelhaus at some point will get one. But this is another step forward for him if this should happen. That's my dream thing. I don't know if that's going to happen. There are a lot of, Brian Flores is very qualified to do it. He's been here, done that. Who else? Jeff Hafley's on that list. He's a guy that the Steelers should know very well with Green Bay. Has ties to Pitt. Clay Kubiak's an offensive guy from the 49ers. You have Jesse Minter. Evero from the Panthers is an intriguing guy. He's a defensive guy, and he's turned the Panthers from one of the worst defenses into one of the best. He's been also, I believe he had time in Denver where he did well there. So he was born in the UK, but he's forged a very good career for himself. So I would go Shula, and if I could somehow figure out Scheelhaus as part of the package, I'd do it.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
All right, Jim. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Let's go down or up on the board. Yes, thanks to Rich in Forest Hills. Hello, Rich. What's going on?
Hey, Bob. This weekend, I'm Steelers general manager, and I have a fond memory of J.P. Lossman, and he was a quarterback that the Bills drafted after a series of 7-9, 9-7 years. It lasted, I don't know how long. It got them nowhere. It stalled them even further.
Yep.
The Steelers need to take advantage of not having to chase another non-losing season is the whole point of having a football team, and refocus on what the prize is, and that's, winning another Super Bowl. In my opinion, they need to get rid of the high-priced older vets. Don't chase a quarterback this season in free agency. You're not going to spend all your draft capital to move up. They have a lot of holes in this team. And the other thing I think that I haven't heard mentioned is the AFC Central is just terrible. I mean, every coach has been fired or was turned over or should have been.
Isn't it funny? The only one left is Zach Taylor. in the
and
North.
they would have fired him if they weren't cheap, okay? Plus, look at all the quarterbacks in the division. Lamar is hurt. He's going to be playing for a new coach. I've never really been a huge Lamar fan, but I think he's on the downside. I think Joe Burrow's clearly wants out of Cincinnati. Cleveland's got Shador. Pittsburgh has nobody. So every team in this division is going to have a new coaching staff and a new quarterback probably at some point during the season. So the division is still winnable as a 7-9 team or an 8-8 team. So it's not like you have to go 2-16 or whatever the math is. But let your foot off the gas this year. Plan on the following year to get to really start to ramp things back up. And,
I think this is I agree with you from this point. It's a multiple year kind of thing right now, and they don't have to address it as such at all. They can still try to do what they got to do, but I would, try to get as much out of Howard or Mason Rudolph and whatever, and I wouldn't, because I just don't think there's going to be an opportunity to draft who you would want to draft. And you're right. They're not going to spend all the draft capital. Plus, they don't have enough of the high-end draft capital is what it would take to move up to where they need to go to get one of those guys. Especially now that Dante Moore's out of the race. Yeah, you'll be chasing. You don't want to be chasing, and they've been chasing for 4 years. And one more year, okay, if that's what it takes, whatever.
But, that's not going to happen. And, the only reason they would hire an older coach, Mike McCarthy, would be just as a placeholder until Marcus Freeman decides he's ready to become a professional coach. I do think he would be the plum as far as I was concerned. And one other thing about baseball, I think the Pirates, nobody's talked about this. I would give Framber Valdez, that left-handed quarterback or a left-handed pitcher from Houston,
mm-hmm.
I'd give him $30 million, a one-year contract to come in. I would gear up for next year. I would have lights-out pitching. Forget about chasing the bats that are still available. They're going to cost money. They all have holes in their games. None of these guys are guarantees. But with the 2026 lockout, maybe a guy like Valdez would take
I like that.
A huge money deal for 1 year.
I like that, Rich. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. And that's a good idea. If you're thinking about one year and then a lockout, you're not going to give multi-years at this point. Give them 1 year. Spend some more money. Agreed. Johnny in Farrell is now right here on the Fan. Hello, Johnny. How are you?
Good, Bob. Hey, I'm really confident for going into next year, and I'll explain why here. One, a break off with Tomlin couldn't have went any smoother. I commend Coach Tomlin for not maybe drawing this out. It was a clean break. We're on to a new coach now, and the draft. So that's one thing. Two, a new coach coming in has more leverage over the players than Tomlin did. And what I mean by that is a new guy can come in and truly now, not have to say giddy up. You know what I'm saying? Like he can come in and he can basically make people actually win their positions. And he can get away with it because he's a new coach. With a coach that's been there for 20 years, he's like got his favorites and things like that. Now this guy can come in. Now we got linebackers like Herbig and Sawyer that can be playing. We got all these draft picks coming in. So it's going to create an actual competitive environment now to get your positions. And like when Noel came in, and even when Tomlin came in, he did the two-a-days all the time.
Right. You can make your stamp.
Now,
absolutely. I agree with that. And that's what a fresh beginning offers to that
but
team.
That's what we needed.
And there are going to be some moves I foresee that are going to be coming here with some of the veteran too. I think they're going to try to get younger if they can in many different ways. And again, if you're looking at edge rushers, since you brought that up, Johnny, that they have that's one of the deepest positions they have. And I understand that if you lose a TJ Watt, for example, if they decide to move on from him or trade him, which has been talked about before, they still have enough insulation there to get that done and bring in more. Now, I don't think you'll get at all what you could have gotten for TJ Watt had you traded him 2 years ago, 1 year ago, whatever. But the point is, this guy will have an opportunity to develop the kind of identity he wants in the team. And thanks for the call. I got to move along. Always appreciate that. Larry in Mariana. What's up, Larry? How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
All right.
The question I have is, with the different coaching candidates, nobody has seemed to mention Grant Udinski from Jacksonville. And I was just curious as to why everybody seems to be skipping over him when he's 30 years old. And
yeah, they're looking, and that would fit the criteria what you're looking at. I don't know. I mean, they have a list. They've made their list. You can't give everyone an interview. They have made their decisions about so far 8 guys, and that's a lot of business to do. So, I'm sure at some point that dude will get an opportunity, but it won't be here. At least not yet. Not from what I can see of their list. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Anthony in Oakland. Go ahead, Anthony.
Bob.
Yes, sir.
In all the time you sat with Mr. Mike Tomlin, did you guys ever talk about personal things?
I mean, other than family stuff, yeah.
And it's like, well, here, I'm gonna tell you why. Because my granddaughter is went to school with one of Mike's sons.
Okay.
So I have a little insight with them, and I remember telling Doran after that Buffalo game that that there was some stuff that was going on that was.
All right, Anthony, we're going to do for a break, so we're going to take it. 412-928-9370 is the number. Brian, Ricky, Frank, all coming up as we continue right here on a Saturday. We'll get into some Penguin talk as well. But the Penguins host Columbus tonight. We'll talk about all that and more about the Steelers head coaching opportunity, all coming up right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
When you hire our firm, you become part of the family. Nobody messes with family. Get the good guys, Goodrich and Geist.
Hey, Crowley here for Sullivan Super Service. When your drain is clogged, you need help. Sullivan Super Service has the training and equipment to solve your problems fast. Over bridges and through tunnels, Sullivan Super Service has been saving homeowners in Pittsburgh from sewer and drain issues for more than 60 years. So when you need a hero, call Sullivan Super Service. And right now, they're offering a $64 drain clearing with a free camera inspection. Let their family take care of yours. Family owned since 1964, serving all of Allegheny County. Sullivan Super Service.
As a detective, I've solved many mysteries, but this one has me stumped.
Why does NJM Insurance remain silent in a world full of catchy jingles?
What are they up to? It's suspicious.
Yet their policyholders all agree.
NJM is amazing. When things go wrong, they do what's right.
But is the world ready for an ad break that's jingle-free? Tune in to Baffling Mysteries, where the story of the missing jingle unfolds.
This fictional podcast is brought to you by NJM. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Honey, I found the perfect place for my parents and us.
Where?
St. Barnabas. For us, the Woodlands Carriage Home Community. And for my parents, condominium-style living at the Village. My folks will love the Village. There's an indoor mall with shops, restaurants, and more. And we can relax, knowing they're safe and secure.
That's what I plan to do when we move to St. Barnabas. Relax.
Call 724-444-5568 or visit stbarnabascommunities.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son, Mike. In addition to the comp case, there's a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide, our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Home remodeling shouldn't be stressful. Hey, it's Bob Pompiani, and West Shore Home is proving it doesn't have to be. With real-time scheduling and precision scan-to-plan accuracy, they make your remodel fast, easy, and very convenient. That's why hundreds of thousands of homeowners have trusted West Shore Home to transform their bathroom, windows, doors, you name it, they do it. Plus, right now, when you buy a full bathroom model, you'll get a second shower for free and lock in an extra $500 off just for listening to the program. But you need to schedule this right now at westshorehome.com/fan.
Bring in the new year with a little magic from Spitzer Acura in McMurray. Our Genie Pandas making car buying wishes come true. Want an exclusive lifetime powertrain warranty and complimentary maintenance at no extra charge? Granted. Want to enjoy complimentary service loaners and rewards in our easy-to-use Spitzer VIP app? Granted. Spitzer Acura delivers more power, more precision, more luxury. Luxury should come with New Year perks, and at Spitzer Acura, it does. Spitzer Acura in McMurray or online at SpitzerAcura.com. Not available on select new commercial and EV models. See dealer for details.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
I'm Joe George from the Western PA injury firm of LGKG.
And I'm Larry Kelly. Joe and I have built a reputation of doing what we say we'll do, always.
And because of that, we've earned the respect and trust of our peers and community alike.
If you've been injured in an accident, we want to talk to you personally. Call 724-658-8535.
Ask for Larry or ask for me. We answer our phones. We call you back. You don't get referred out by LGKG. That's 724-658-8535.
LGKG, your home team.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Coming off a 6-3 win over the Flyers on Thursday night, the Penguins are back on the ice tonight at PPG Paints Arena. It's the Blue Jackets and Penguins. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. More at 937thefan.com.
Live from the ShoreKeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Bob knows sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go crazy.
This is the Bob Pompiani Show on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Rolling along here with Logan Arblaster behind the glass, 412-928-9370. Penguins in action tonight against Columbus, and they have what is now called the LAD line. Who would have thought that they would do this with this group? But this group has been good. LAD would be Lazat, Achari, and Dewar. It's a fourth line that does a whole bunch of stuff. They kill penalties, and they've been very good. The other night, they were 4 for 4 against the Flyers and killing off penalties. I think they're 32 of 35 for their last 35. They're out there a lot, and they're also scoring. You don't see fourth lines that have a guy like Lazat, who signed a nice extension here at a good price. He has 6 goals. I think Achari has 5 or 6 also, and then Dewar has 9. You don't get that kind of offensive production from a team. And I credit Dan Muse a lot just because he's using four lines and doing some things that I think you should do. Also, we got Indiana, Miami. I'd like to know what you think of that. The line is just huge in favor of Indiana. That's at Hard Rock Stadium where Miami plays its games. Let's go back to the lines. We got Ricky in Washington joining us on line 2. Hello, Ricky. How are you?
Hey, Bobo. Ricky Ricotta, Little Washington. Just wanted to say I'm sorry our Monday night lasagna didn't go so well. One person lost that game for us Monday, and it wasn't Rodgers and it wasn't Tomlin. You know who it was?
Tell me.
Pompiani.
I did.
Yeah, you chose the mix of mozzarella and ricotta, and I think if we would have went all ricotta, that game would have been won.
Well, it seems to me like they need a little bit more meat to win the physical part of the game. They ain't enough meat. They got pushed around on offense and defense.
But seriously, Bob, I got real quick. Are coaches part of the players' union?
No.
No. Okay. So is that why their salaries are not advertised?
Yeah, it's hard to find numbers out there. It's a well-guarded secret. Unless they, someone has some access, you can assume where they're going, but I'm not so sure what the exact numbers are. No.
Sure. I just always wondered why those weren't advertised.
Yeah, I don't know the reason, but you get generalities. You get, like for example, Harbaugh. The man's, according to some reports, were $20 million a year for him, plus $10 million for his assistants. That sounds reasonable. Okay. Based on some of the stuff we've heard about other coaches, that doesn't mean it's accurate in any way. Could be. It's probably near there, but I don't know the exact number.
Okay, thanks Bob. Have a good day.
You do the same. Let's stop mixing those cheeses. Let's go to Frank in Greensburg. Hello, Frank. How are you today?
Hey, Happy New Year.
You too.
Hey, the Steelers said that we're not going to try any retread coaches. In 2013, Kansas City tried to retread coach and Andy Reid, won 3 Super Bowls. In 2000, the New England Patriots tried to retread coach who has failed with Cleveland, Bill Belichick, and won 6 Super Bowls. I disagree with that approach. I think Kevin Stefanski should get the job. A 2-time coach of the year who we know can do good offense. Find him a defensive coordinator piece, and to me, that's what I think the next coach should be. We need a coach who, instead of being a CEO coach, actually do. It was always somebody else do it. I'm just going to be here in the sidelines. We need somebody who actually coaches.
Well, I think he does a lot of that in practice that you may not see. But to your point, I would not avoid Kevin Stefanski. I would bring him in. I said that at the beginning of the show. I wouldn't have any problem talking to him. And I think if you look at what happened in Cleveland, he was a scapegoat in many ways. I don't think he was the problem in Cleveland. I think Andrew Berry, their GM, was, and more specifically, their owner, Jimmy Haslam, by doing things that went above what he was, capable of doing. If the owner wants to bring in Deshaun Watson and you say no, we really don't want him, or if the owner wants you to take Shadur Sanders and you don't want him, and there are a lot of things going on. I'm not sure the whole backstory. But 2-time coach of the year and a young age, he's 43 still. I would definitely include him in the process. I don't know if I'd give him the job, but I would include him in the process.
Yeah, he's an elite offensive coach, so those are really getting hard to find. That's why I wanted him.
All right, man. Thank you. Appreciate the call. 412-928-9370. Let's go out to Oregon. We have Brian joining us right now. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Bob. How you doing?
Going good. What's going on with you? What do you think?
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to get your opinion. If I'm Rooney, I'm going to stipulate, one coaching hire. I know they did that with Dick LeBeau when they hired Tomlin, but, Mike Munchak, I don't know if he's still out there or he has moved back from Colorado. But if Munchak's in the area in Pennsylvania, I don't know why, like I said, Rooney can't stipulate with the new coach and say, hey, we'd like to make the new offensive line coach Mike Munchak. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I've always had great respect for him, no question about it, but I don't know that he's still in the game. He was with the last time I saw Denver. He went out there for family reasons, so I don't know. I tend to think he isn't. I've always had a lot of respect for him, but these guys have their own list of people. that they know that they've dealt with. Would that be a bad choice? No. Would it be a choice I'd be surprised at? Yes, only because I don't think he's been doing it, and I don't know if he's decided to move on with just enjoying life or whatever. So I'd have to check on that. But interesting name. Thank you for the call. I thought Pat Meyer did a very good job with this offensive line this year. These younger guys. In fact, if you ask me, that's probably one of the better things to build upon when you have Frazier, who's really good, and McCormick has established himself. Now, Fatanu and Dylan Cook had their problems against Houston, but a lot of teams have problems against Houston. I think it leads to an interesting question about Broderick Jones because they have an option coming up on him to pick up the fifth-year option. And I don't know if they're going to do that or not. It's a lot of money. I think it's $19 to $20 million. So they have to make a choice there, but they haven't had a lot of first-round picks get second contracts, so they'd like that trend to change a little bit. All right, let's go to Ryan in New Jersey. Hello, Ryan. What's going on?
Hey, Bob. Just while I was on hold, I remembered the sports calendar actually kicks off in Melbourne every year. So Carlos Alcaraz has a chance to become a career Grand Slam winner under 23 years of age.
He's unbelievable.
Pretty amazing.
He's really, really
I know
good.
there's not a lot of tennis fans, but I love the spring for golf and tennis. Coming on the heels of the three greatest players of all time, he could actually eclipse them if he stays healthy, which is pretty amazing.
And he's won a lot of those head-to-head matchups with those guys already, and he's still right under 23.
He just hasn't done it. He hasn't done it in Australia. It's been where he hasn't done it yet.
Well, we're coming up on that. We have golf from Hawaii. We have that happening in Australia. We're at summertime, so I'm looking forward to watching that kind of stuff.
So I know late Monday night it became a hockey night in Pittsburgh for the rest of the year, as it always is the way. And they have a big West Coast trip coming up here before they go on ice for the Olympics, which I love the Olympics. I talked to you about Four Nations last year. I don't love the American team. I don't love the coach at all, which we talked about before. But we'll all be there pulling in the same direction at least. So the Pens have a chance to do something here, get in the playoffs. I think they're well positioned with both their cap status and the amount of contributions they have from the lower lines at this point. So we'll see how it goes. I'm calling. I thought Tomlin should have been gone since the Jacksonville game.
You've been on record. Yep.
That's a pretty common sentiment. But I'm actually very happy for him. I think he reclaimed his narrative a lot by stepping down. I really do. And even though, adjust your tinfoil here because here it comes, I'm not so sure it actually went down where he walked in and said, I'm done. Though I could see that. He certainly could be burned out. But what I was wondering about, has the ownership changed a little bit behind the scenes? Because remember, Dan Rooney was the de facto runner of the team when Art was still alive for a long time. And Art Rooney was running the team when Dan Rooney was alive for still a long time. So we're seeing an ownership transition. They're just not going to put it out in public. And maybe they looked at it and thought, we're at a crossroads here. We can't make a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback. We can't make a quarterback mistake. And as long as Tomlin's here, he's going to be loyal to these guys that we kind of need to move off of. Is that kind of maybe what happened here, that they all just kind of looked at it and said, we need to change directions, and Danny has a louder voice now than he probably where you think he would be, and maybe they're easing Art out of
that. Could very well be the case, and Ryan, I think it could be that. I'm not going to answer something I don't have an answer to.
Yeah, I know.
But what I will say to you is that I think 19 years is a long time, and when the postseason success is so dry that you have to figure out something else. I think that could be certainly the case. And yes, there's a transition going on. I don't know if it's happening now. I don't know if it takes as a young person, it takes a lot of experience to get involved and understand what's going on in the multifaceted thing that is the NFL. But
Bob, what's your? I know you said your opinion is you don't think Tomlin's cut out for TV. Now he could get a great job.
I didn't say he's not cut out for. I said he's not interested.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it.
Man, that could change based on money.
What do you think? What do you think about the theory that Fox is going to bring him in and knock Bradshaw out, and he's going to settle that score inadvertently? What do you think about that theory?
That would be interesting and funny. Terry's not his biggest fan.
Very vocal, long-time critic there.
Yes, he has been for a long time.
Very vocal.
But I don't think they're going to. Terry's going to retire now. Thanks, Ryan. He's going to retire. So, but, and Jay Glazer's over there. He has friendship with Mike. Would I be surprised? No. But again, my only experience is when we talk about it, because I always thought he would be good at it. And, in conversation, just casual conversation, I always say, well, you're going to do it, aren't you? Because Coward did it and loved it. And he goes, no, I'm not interested in any of that. When it's time for me, you won't even notice where I go. Although he was at his daughter's gymnastics meet last night in Georgia. So I don't know. Maybe that'll change. Maybe money will change him. Maybe the more he gets away from it. He just strikes me as a football junkie, and you can't satisfy that need without being in the game. That's how I look at him. All right, Tony in Pittsburgh down on the board. Tony, what's going on? How are you?
Hey, doing great, Bob. Thanks for taking my call. You look across 19 years of Tomlin's tenure, and what you have is a kind of a dead tree with no fruit, and there's no coaching tree, right? I think his biggest, he was good at a lot of things. I think the thing that he needed to be much better at, and the thing that caused him not to be successful, is he was unable to hire and develop assistant coaches. And when I look back on it, there's nobody that has come from his tree that has gone on. Exhibit A, Mike Vrabel, right? He played under one of the greatest coaches of all time, and look at where look at what he's doing. And there are countless examples of assistant coaches who have gone on to do great things, and countless, examples of assistant coaches who continue to win for the same organization. And that is a giant failure. And for me, that's the reason I'm out on Mike Tomlin and have been for a long time.
And I think that if you're going to be honest, that's one of the biggest criticisms. Absolutely. That, and he stuck with Matt Canada far too long. He brought him in, and for whatever reason, Matt Canada hasn't had a job since, and because he wasn't cut out for that job.
Todd Haley, Haley was kind of not great. I mean, the only people that were really good for the assistant coaching tree was, Coach, Arians.
Yeah, but they were part of
Tomlin people.
Yeah, they were part of Cowher's team, right?
Exactly.
So you can't really claim that because they were there.
You can't. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. You can't. Tomlin was not good at that, and it was his downfall. And all the way to the details of clock management. If you think about even just that one detail, and there's countless details that assistant coaches play a humongous role in. Danny Smith is the best assistant coach that Mike Tomlin has ever had. I don't even know if Danny Smith was brought on by Mike Tomlin, or do you know?
Well, he's been there for 13 years, so yes, he was.
Okay, all right, so he was. Well, that's a succce. Danny Smith. We'll go with Danny Smith as being his one.
Yeah, I think Pat Meyer's been a good job at offensive line. I mean, I'm looking at, you're always going to have guys who don't develop, regardless of who your coach is, and guys who do develop.
Yeah.
I think generally speaking, with some of the young offensive lines that I see, he's done a pretty good job with those guys. So, but yeah, your point is well taken.
Your other caller mentioned Mike Munchak. I thought Mike's departure, when he departed, was a really huge blow to the Steelers, and it turned out to be a blow to the Steelers. And but there's been some good development on the offensive line. I can agree with that.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate the call. Yes, sir. 412-928-9370. Let's go to Alice before we go to break. Hello, Alice. How are you?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Yep.
I heard one of your callers, I think he was 3 or 4 callers ago, talk about, you talk about not wanting retreads, but look at Andy Reid and look at Bill Belichick, but look at the quarterbacks they had. You have to have a quarterback, and that's one of the problems right now.
But Andy Reid drafted Pat Mahomes, though, so I got to give him credit for that.
Well, yeah, but still, the success that he had after that was with Patrick Mahomes and Belichick and Tom Brady.
You got to get the quarterback right, Alice. That's the bottom line, right? It has to be right.
Right. I think, and I agree with you about Chris Shula or Nate Schulhaus. I think Chris Shula would be a good choice, and Nate Schulhaus is young, but they're comparing him to young Sean McVay. That can't be a bad thing. And you think about who he's trained, who he's working with.
Right. I mean, those guys are both. Alice, thank you. Appreciate that. I mean, you're under McVay, and I think he's looked at as one of the top coaches in the league, and came in strong, won a championship, and he's done it sometimes without using draft picks. So there are different ways to get everything done. I think that's important to remember. But here, definitely, the draft will be central to what they do. And this one coming up in Pittsburgh will be. It's going to be a monumental event. It was. Man, people are going to come from all over to see it. It's going to be here before you know it in April. And so get ready for that. It's going to be and the Steelers, everyone will be waiting to see what they pick at number 20. But again, I just don't think quarterbacks, even though it's the number one thing that has to happen, I just don't think it looks like it's going to line up for them this year. Short of them taking someone that not many people thought, and I don't think they want to go down that road either. 412-928-9370. Scott, AJ, Ron, and Donald all coming up next right here on the Bob Pompiani Show, Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Hey everyone, this is Bob Pompiani. Got some news for you. Let's count the ways that number one Cochran Kia delivers a clearly better car buying experience. You know, first, they have a huge selection of new Kia models with hundreds of models in stock. From the K4 and the Sportage to the Telluride and Carnival, there is a vehicle for every lifestyle. Second, number one Cochran's clear-cut pricing. It's a structure that gives you their absolute best price up front. This simplifies the buying process and makes for an enjoyable, stress-free experience. Third, their exceptional lease and APR financing rates are designed for maximum allowable savings so you can drive home your dream car. Clearly, better car buying. It's transparent, it's hassle-free, and it's a number one Cochran Kia exclusive. Test drive today at their location on Campbell's Run Road in Robinson, or you can shop online now at CochranKia.com.
Mike Rowe here with a random fact. More than half of the homes that have basements in North America will experience water damage. It's true. Whether it's basement moisture, flooding, or bowing walls, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Baker's Waterproofing is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Are you ignoring repeated notices that you owe PA Turnpike tolls? Think it will just go away? Wrong. Unpaid tolls don't vanish. They stack up fast. And so do the penalties. Suspended registration, mounting fines, court action. You can't dodge it. You can't outrun it. It's time to pay your fair share. Call 877-736-6727 to set up a payment plan. The PA Turnpike. Pay now. It's the law.
Ring in the new year during the Start New sale at Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi, North Hills, and Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi, North Huntington. Get great savings on remaining 2025 models. Drive home a new 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander for 0% APR for 60 months. Or get a 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV for 0% APR for 72 months. Call 412-453-8035 for offer details.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Revitalize your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off select vanities and free delivery during our bath savings event. Plus, get up to 40% off select shower heads. No matter what style you're looking for, we've got you covered. Shop for your bathroom refresh at Lowe's. We help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly.
PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865.
93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com. Keeping it live and local.
Tell us then.
Back with more of the Bob Pompiani Show on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
John Harbaugh goes to the Giants. We haven't really spent a lot of time talking about that, but the Giants have gone through like 7 head coaches in the last 9 years. They've been struggling. It's funny how this works. Both New York franchises in that market have just not been good. And so they're trying to bring it back, and they're looking for Harbaugh. Now, obviously, when you go to a team that has a quarterback in place, you think that's a good thing, and that was probably the biggest selling point, I think, for Harbaugh. You have Jackson Dart, Joe Starkey's favorite quarterback, next to Bo Nix. But, he's a very talented guy, had a good first year. Now, the thing is, he's been injured quite a bit. They have some other people there who form a pretty good nucleus, and he tried to add on to that. So I'm sure they basically gave him everything he wanted there, and so that happened very quickly. The first of all of these openings to be figured out. There's so many of them, and you wonder how fast they will be filled. And I also think that, now the Steelers are involved, a lot of players or coaches who had thoughts and minds about other openings all of a sudden have this opening, and they may want to make sure they get an opportunity to interview here as well. 412-928-9370. Let's go down to Ron and Zelienople. Hello, Ron. How are you?
Hey, Bob. Here's the big thing. What's the roster for the Steelers look like? Well, you know, I know it's the second oldest team in the NFL, and I think it's pretty much gutted out. And whoever comes in as a coach is going to have big troubles trying to build a winning team.
Well, let's go through it then. If you want to talk offensive line, would you agree? I think it's up and coming.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a plus because you have to have that. Defensive line. Do you think that's heading in the right direction? And I say that with Harmon and Keanu Benton involved mostly. Those two guys.
Well, I think Cam's going to be gone.
If he chooses, but he's been playing well. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back. And if he's playing at the level he's been, then that would be okay.
I think you'll probably hear.
But eventually, eventually you got to fill that.
And TJ is not any younger.
No, and they may move from him. Who knows? I mean, there could be a trade.
And then our cornerbacks, we have Porter. He's young.
He's good.
And then after that, we're pretty much in trouble again.
Well, I think their safety and other cornerback position are elements that they need to improve, no doubt. I think the running back's okay. I think wide receiver needs major help. If you're asking me who'd be their number one pick this coming draft, I think it's going to be a wide receiver. But you never know. Somebody may be available they didn't expect, and they moved to do it. So,
because that's one big difference in when Tomlin took over. Power had a team here.
Yeah, and most importantly, they had a quarterback here. You can ride a good quarterback, and that's the thing. This franchise right now is still looking for their quarterback of the future, and that's a big part of what goes on here. And whoever comes in is going to be charged with finding that person, developing that person, and it may not happen in 1 year. So and they will be patient. They're not going to just pull the rug out from anyone.
Have a great weekend, sir.
All right, you too. Always nice to get to Zelienople. Some nice restaurants out in that area that I like to get to. Let's go to AJ in Natrona Heights. AJ, welcome to the Bob Pompiani Show. How are you?
Bob, always a pleasure. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I waited to call you this week because I wanted to bring up something that will maybe test your memory. You've been around a little longer than some of the other guys throughout the week. I used to work for a regional paper, and I covered training camp back in 2006 after they won Super Bowl 40. And I had the chance to recommend personally to Dan Rooney that Russ Grimm would make a very viable candidate. And wasn't it a joyful moment for me when one paper, and I'm sure you remember this, reported that the Steelers picked Grimm,
I think there's a lot to that, and I don't know what changed in the last second other than Tomlin came in and blew them away, and they changed their minds. I mean, they had Grimm, and they also had, if I remember, Ken Wisenhunt in that conversation, because Wisenhunt did a pretty good job offensively.
Well, and how ironic that they both went to Arizona and a couple years later had the big clash in the Super Bowl. I know this is a waste of time, but I'm putting in my word of support for Russ Grimm. I love the guy. He is a Hall of Fame player. He was a Hall of Fame coach, and I know
Hall of Fame hog is what he was. He was really good at that.
He's 66 now, and I'm sure if they called him up, he'd probably say thanks, but no thanks, especially with what happened and how it went down. But he's no nonsense. I like a Chuck Noll type, Maybe we can get something like that in here, but I'll let you think on that, and I appreciate the time.
Yeah, thanks, AJ. I think it's pretty clear by the list of people they have here. They're not looking for guys who've been around for a long time, even though, again, I would put Stefanski in a different conversation there. He's been around for a long time, but he's only 43, and some of these guys are, 39, 40 years old. He fits right into that, so I would at least interview him as someone who's been there, done that, and still young enough to do it again. Let's go to Scott in Jeanette, Pennsylvania. Hello, Scott. What's up, man?
Hey, I just find it kind of, the whole thing with Tomlin, the way he left. I'm just wondering if there's been discussions between himself and the powers to be about making major overhauls to his coaching staff, because I kind of find it ironic that none of his assistants were even given a chance to have a cup of coffee with the Rooney family for the coaching position. Now, that doesn't mean I'm saying any of them deserve to, but I'm just wondering if that also may have led to him wanting out of Pittsburgh and deciding he was done, because, I'm not by any means backing Arthur Smith, but Arthur Smith's getting interviews now in the NFL. So it just is weird to me that Mike Tomlin was done, and that was the end of it. You know, none of his assistants, like I said, got a cup of coffee with the Rooneys. Right. There was no press conference. There was nothing. I'm just wondering if maybe the Rooneys made a statement of, hey, enough's enough. You know, everybody kind of has said Tomlin had a lot of pull, a lot of authority, and maybe they were trying to reel some of that in off of him.
Well, they did it once before. They did it once before, Scott, with Matt Canada. I think that was that took a while, but it finally happened. I don't know if that was a guy. I truly believe he was just done. I think there was a lot of stuff going on that it's just years of doing this. There is a burnout factor that does occur, however you describe burnout, but a lot of things can go into that. We'll see. I believe Art when he said they were willing to come back and do this again and try. And then a lot of people would say, well, why would you do that given all the postseason failures they've had? But I don't think that it came down to where they're saying, hey, get rid of him, and him. Some organizations would do that. I think we saw that in Philadelphia where they got rid of their OC real quick, and that was a friend of the head coach, and they didn't like that arrangement. Thanks, Scott. I got to run. We have, but bottom line is that change has been made, and now they move on. And they're going to, in the next several weeks, you're going to hear a lot of stuff that's going on with interviews potentially. All right, I don't know if this is Freddie from now you tell me, Logan. Freddie from Frederick, Maryland, I assume, right?
That is what was said to me on the phone. Now, okay. I have my speculations here as...
Let's see if this is Freddie or Joey, whoever it may be.
Well, the first time this line called in, the name was Morgan, so it changed over time.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Freddie from Frederick. Hello.
Does you think Billy Turpak could replace Tomlin?
Don't you have coaching to do or writing to do? Now that you've got a really nice job, and I commend you on your first column with the Trib. Glad that happened. You have this much time on your hand. You called before under the name Morgan? Is this right?
Yeah, well, that was Morgan from Morgantown. How are you, Bob?
I'm good, Joe. How are you? Hey, you're not going to be here Monday, I just found out, right?
Yeah, they gave me a choice, and I said, will Bob be there? And they said yes, and I said, then what?
And you don't want to work with me anymore. This is what's happened.
No, it was going to be either or. I was surprised that you were working on a day off, a national day off like that.
I still have to work. I still have to work TV, so it's another work day for me. So,
would you like me to come in and do that if you're doing TV?
Do you want to come in together?
No, I want one of us to have the morning off.
Well, that's negotiable.
This is my offer to you.
Okay, that's negotiable. I'll call you after we're done here.
Okay.
So go ahead. What were you going to call about Freddie and Morgan?
The new coach, Bob. Who's the new coach going to be?
I like what I told you last week. I like Shula and Shieldhouse as a package.
I like Davis Webb, who's Bo Nix's quarterbacks coach, and I'm very nervous about the Bills game today.
Well, you should be nervous. They got 14 guys on their injured list, and Josh Allen isn't one of them, although he should be, based on how he got beat up last week in Jacksonville. But, boy, that's a testament to – so they beat him last year in a wild card game, right? It was pretty one-sided.
Yeah, they blew him out. Yeah.
So Denver's added to their defense. I know that it's mostly their defense that's different. They're really good, and another year for Nick. So that could be a long game. But why is the line only 1.5?
What do you mean?
Denver's favored by 1.5.
I mean, because the other guys have Josh Allen. He's putting on his Superman cape today again, Bob.
But it's in Denver. Denver's got a much better defense that leads everything, and sacks, red zone, efficiency for defense. I don't care. And they don't have who's the injury? There's a wide receiver. Gabe Davis got injured last week, too.
Gabe Davis, but Ed Oliver is back, and he's the Bills' best defensive player. Their best player.
So you're going to take
Bob,
the Bills.
Did you read my first column in the Trib? You read it, huh?
I did, because I heard it on the radio here before you wrote it, I think.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was very spot on, yes. And
what was your favorite part?
Just talking about the history, going back with Mike Tomlin over the years and how he is responsible for roster building more than anyone.
Yes.
And that's true.
More than anyone.
And while the last couple of... Yeah, I mean, that set them back again in that department. You have to redraft that position now coming up. I still believe, though, whoever comes in here, they're not going to be able to satisfy that need for a quarterback this year. I don't see it happening unless there's some magic going on and they move into position, somebody drops them or whatever. So I think you're going to have to deal with what you have, and that may be good. You may find that some guy who can really work with a guy like Howard or even Mason Rudolph and get more out of them than we've seen. So that may be the way they're going to have to go.
Who do you miss more, Bob, Ron Cook or Jory Rand?
Well, since Ron is listening, and I don't think Jory's up yet because it's only 9 o'clock out west, I'll say Ron. But I love Jory. I'm glad he's doing well in L.A. How about that for your answer?
Me too. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend. And
I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Thanks, Freddie from Frederick. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Bob. Bye.
Freddie. Oh, my goodness. So, Double B and Donald, sorry, can't get Freddie took up your time. I wish I can go on. But we have Nick Costos coming up with You Better Your Bets. He's always interesting. And if you're interested in making bets in some of these games, and just real quick, I'm going to run this down before I go. Are we under a specific deadline here, Logan, time-wise? No, okay. So Buffalo, Denver. Denver has a lot going for it. I suspect they'll win that game and cover 1.5. Seattle, San Francisco. Seattle is a 7-point favorite. I'm going to take my chances with San Francisco getting to 7 points. Tomorrow, Houston, New England. New England is given 3.5 points. I also will take the points in that one. I think it's going to be a close game. And then you have the Rams and Chicago. This line is the most surprising to me. The Rams going into that 2-degree weather, but they're favored by 4, even though the visiting team. I tend to like those. I'm going to look at Chicago and take the points there. I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, Bob, I think when you look at the Rams, it's just what you've talked about the entire show with what they have at the coordinator positions, and they have a lot going for them with Puka Nacua, so I'm going to take the Rams in that game as well.
Just go to show you that a 5th-round draft pick turned out to be Puka Nacua. You can get him in a lot of different ways. And the Steelers will have their opportunities in the draft coming to Pittsburgh in late April, and it's going to be an amazing time. Lots of money spent in Pittsburgh, good for the economy, and also I think just a marquee event that you'd love to have in your city. So the Steelers will host that coming up. In the meantime, out of time, we got Nick Costos, You Better Your Bets. Weather is brought to you by Myers Law Group. Outside, it is currently 39 degrees. Willie Parker, it's going to go down. You know, you're going to have cold spells. That's where we are in January. So you got to deal with it. It's great to get out in it. I love fresh air in the wintertime. Hope you do, too. Have a great weekend. For Logan, I'm Bob Pompiani. We'll see you tomorrow on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown and KDKA TV Sports all week long. Have a good week.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Coming off a 6-3 win over the Flyers on Thursday night, the Penguins are back on the ice tonight at PPG Paints Arena. It's the Blue Jackets and Penguins. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. More at 937thefan.com.
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy two, get two free offer.
Time to get your home zero-resified with our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. This month, get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $119 plus a free hallway and take 15% off all regular services. Mention the 93.7 The Fan special. ZeroResPGH.com.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey Sports Station, live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app.
84 Lumber has partnered with Anderson Windows and Doors to bring a brand new showroom to Mount Lebanon. From homeowners to industry pros, everyone can see, touch, and interact with various series of Anderson windows and a wide variety of doors to make the most informed decision for their build. 84 Lumber experts are on site to demonstrate product features, answer your questions, and even schedule a visit to the job site for measuring and installation. Your budget matters and flexible financing options are available. Call today to schedule a personal consultation at 570-507-8015.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down